Boom, boom, bam. Welcome back to the Great Debate Show. The good guys, we're back in the building, better than ever. Up in this bitch. And we are here to recap, the Knicks and the Celtics NBA playoffs going on right now. Great doubleheader. We got the Nuggets and the Clippers going on right now as we speak. YouTube live stream, Pod being live. We're also available wherever you get your podcasts on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Right now, the Thunder is up 67-54 third quarter. We will, continue to let you know how that game is going
Sure.
as we are streaming here. But yeah, the Thunder are starting to try to run away from the Nuggets. We'll see if the Nuggets can come back from 20 or whatever more like the Knicks did. And that's what we're about to start the show off with talking about, Terrence. You're a diehard, long time Knick fan. And for years on this show, you usually choose not to talk about the Knicks as much.
Yeah.
I understand why. Being a Knicks fan, it has not been much to talk about the past,
Right.
25 years?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they had one little, you know, Linsanity and Carmelo's like first or second year, but after that, it was just
Yeah, that was a fluke. That was a fluke, though. Like it wasn't the '90s Knicks. It wasn't Ewing and Starks. It
right,
wasn't.
right,
It wasn't anything before that with the Knicks. It was none of that. Not even Allen Houston, Marcus Camby. Not even the '99 Knicks. So the early 2000 Knicks was Spreewell and those. It wasn't even that. But now you can kind of take the Knicks a little serious now. I mean, just a little bit. I mean, I know people are saying, well, yeah, they've got Brunson and yeah, but they'll never go any further than the semifinal round. And that still may be true. I've always told people, Terrence,
right.
and I'm getting to it, ladies and gentlemen. I've always told people that Karl Anthony Towns coming to New York is a good trade for the Knicks for now and a good trade for the Timberwolves for now with Julius Randle. They're both still playing in the playoffs. We'll come back and see who wins that
Yep.
trade. But back to the point that I'm trying to make, the rumor was in New York, Karl Anthony Towns is still going to get traded for a bigger bait, like a Zion Williamson or a Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's what the Knicks are looking for eventually
Yeah.
to pair with Brunson. Brunson took that pay cut. What was that
Yep.
earlier this year or last year? And we were like, that was impressive. Man, Jalen Brunson, man. I sent you something while I was watching it because they came back from 20 and I was like, man, I know this dude is the truth. I like him. I've been watching him since Villanova. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that boy there, he gonna be something else. And he's been something else. He is a clutch shooter. He's ready for the
Yeah.
moment. He is cool and calm as it gets. And coming back from
Absolutely.
20, your Knicks win this game. And I just want to say congratulations for the game one win. I know you may not take it that serious. I think Stephen A is gonna have a
Right.
ball in the morning. But I just
Oh,
want to
you
know
know
what
he
you
is.
think about your Knicks. We don't talk about them a lot, and reason being, I understand why. But now the Knicks are something
Yeah.
to talk about, and you should be happy. Your Knicks are good, and you got the win in Boston. I said that the Knicks would win tonight. I even said the Nuggets would probably win tonight because of the layover that these teams have had. So I'm just glad to have it right. Tell me about your Knicks, man. What you think?
Bro, I'm sorry, man. Sometimes these comments are shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh man, that caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that.
Hey, man, I'm
Woo,
always
okay,
ready for what I'm always ready for
man.
whatever on here. You have to be.
Golly, yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate you though. I can't pronounce that Mozart. That's hilarious.
Uh huh.
um, Shoot, I gotta collect myself. I'll say this, man. I'm very impressed with the game one win. I think Charles Barkley always said that the series doesn't start until somebody wins on the road. Series has started already, and I feel like if you are going to upset someone in a series, you just about have to get one of those first games on the road. And kudos to Boston, man, because I there was a moment there where I thought, man, Boston was still making plays like clutch plays. Al Horford, the floater at the end of the game, where at the end of regulation, where Brunson just missed it. Horford made a good contest, and Horford,
He
my
did.
guy, my cousin Wayne, he pointed this out to me earlier. Um, Horford is jumping higher now than when he did when he played at Florida 20 something years ago. And it's pretty doggone astonishing that he's still able to get off the court that high. You know, we give a lot of credence to LeBron for how he's playing later in his career. Um, but man, Horford is still playing very good basketball. You know, not he ain't asked to carry a heavy load, but he very much is doing some great things over in Boston. But that's enough about Boston, man. New York gritty win coming back from down 20. Everything you said about Brunson is accurate. That dude is the truth. He is not afraid of the moment. He is the
Yes.
anti James Harden as far as I'm concerned. When the game sevens, if it's game seven, it's one, two, three, four, whatever game it is, that dude wants to take the biggest shot of the game. And I listen at his height, his size, his athleticism. I don't know how he gets his shot off half the time. I don't know how he makes it half the time. But that's why he's an NBA player, and I am sitting with a Baltimore Ravens curtain behind me.
Yeah. Yeah. Terrence, I'm happy for you, man. That was a great game. I mean, seriously, everything
Yeah,
that you said, y'all got y'all a star over there in Jalen Brunson. If you can just add
yeah,
one more guy in that backcourt
yeah,
with him. But again,
yeah.
not just Jalen Brunson, Bridges, Mikael
Mikael
Bridges,
Bridges, Mikael Bridges playing every single minute, made a
what he
big
did in
three at the
overtime.
end. Yeah, played some incredible defense. Took a hard lick from Jalen Brown. Of course, no foul call. It's Boston. But he still got back up and still finished the game, man. Mikael Bridges is literally our generation of AC Green. That man is the Iron Man of the NBA.
Yeah,
And still was just playing incredible minutes for the Knicks. Excuse me. Those Villanova boys, they know what to do on the court, man.
for real. Hold on. What? Him too?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was. I think it was him. At one point, it was him. It was Mikal Bridges, Bronson, Josh Hart, if I'm not mistaken, and Devin Chizzo. Of course, they traded Devin Chizzo for. He was part of the Carl Anthony Towns
Yeah.
trade.
Right. Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't know that. D. Frank is in the building. Hello to you. And he says, "Do you think the Cowboys are going to go
No.
anywhere this year?" No, I don't.
No.
But thank you for joining us and being with us tonight. Fortnite 2.0 in the building. How are you doing? Yes, you can to answer that question. If you would like, yeah, yeah, go ahead, please do. Hey, Terrence, that's one thing we need to get set up here because somebody else said something like this earlier today during the live stream. Like these super chats that people, like do when they're live streaming or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
we want to set that up. We need to set that up so we can show it on screen and everybody can see their live chats and their super stream, their super chats. What they're trying to send us or whatever. We appreciate it. If you do that Fortnite 2.0,
Absolutely.
no doubt. So we're gonna break down and review Monday Night Raw, but first we want to talk about these playoffs again. What Bridges did in overtime, Terrence, was unbelievable. I mean, like
Yeah.
what Brunson did to get them there. I mean, he said, "All right, enough is enough. We're down 20. Here, take my beer. Let me get up and take care of this."
Yeah.
And then
Right.
they got the overtime tied at 100, and then Bridges said, "Okay, I got it from here.
Yeah.
You take my beer." And man, I mean, just tuck the ball from, I don't remember who that was trying to get that shot. I think it was Jalen Brown. And he just tucked the ball from him. Like, didn't
Yeah.
even get to put up a shot. This dude defended
Yeah.
his ass off in the overtime. Going into overtime, he didn't really get his shot going. But he did well on the other side of the floor defending. And then he did hit a big three in the corner
Absolutely.
that got them there. So, I mean, like, kudos to them. They did good, man. I mean,
Yeah.
what's
And
up,
I think
Terrence?
that's
How do
why
you
the
feel about the
Knicks.
Knicks right now?
Yeah. I think that's why the Knicks can be a very, very serious matchup issue for Boston. Um, they can put OG on Jalen Brown. They can put Mikal Bridges on oh my goodness,
Tatum,
light skinned brother Tatum.
Tatum.
Thank you. And honestly, Jarvis, I think this series is really going to come down to because Boston is not going to miss as many shots in game two, three, four, whatever, how many ever games the series goes. It'll go at least five now, I'm assuming, because if Boston wins four straight. Not saying they will, but in the case they do,
Right,
the series goes at least five now.
right.
Um, I think this series is going to come down to Carl Anthony Towns to me has to be dominant, and I'm still not sold on Carl Anthony Towns being anything other than a big two guard. He just does not be in the paint enough for me. And so I think that's what the series is going to come down to. But matchup wise, the Knicks can match up with them, and to me, the Knicks are just as gritty. But I still believe, and this is just me being totally unbiased. I'm happy about tonight. I still think Boston comes out and wins the series, not even because of the shooting, not even because of Tatum and Brown, but I look at players like Derek White, players like Drew Holiday, who still come out and make game winning plays. Like Derek White got a very, very key rebound tonight. I don't know if you saw that the floater that Brunson missed. Derek White comes in, snatches the rebound against three big men, and gets down and has enough presence to call timeout. Those are championship plays, and I think that
Yeah.
Boston winning the championship last year, having been in the finals before, they just know to make plays like that, and I think that that might be the difference in the series if Cat cannot assert himself. Now, if Cat can assert himself, I think Cat can give them the same problems that Embiid used to do. Embiid used to just absolutely torch the Celtics. You know, it still didn't result in any series wins, but he used to torch them.
Yeah.
I think Cat can still give those same type of issues. Cat just has to know that, hey, Horford can't stop me, and he can't. Horford can, as well as Horford is playing. Just gave him credit for how well he's playing, but Cat, you got to be the man. That's why you were brought over here. You last year they made it to the second round, and they of course they had some injuries. They got put out by Indiana. Kudos to Indiana. They're playing good basketball. They beat Cleveland. Um, but to get them to the next level, Cat, this is why you were brought in. So now it's time to show up. Now you got to go earn your money now, Cat. You're in the second round, same place they were last year. So how are we going to advance? It's on Cat because Boston's going to make some good plays. They're not going to shoot as bad as they shot tonight. I think Cat is the difference maker.
Well, keep in mind now, Terrence. Last year, Carl Anthony Towns, believe it or not, we criticized him a lot about his defense.
He had a good series though.
He had a great series though, knocking off the defending champion Denver Nuggets. He played
Yeah,
great. He had a great series against the Joker, which was very
yeah,
surprising, but he did. And
right.
they were able to win that series in seven, and they eliminated the defending champs before going to the conference finals, losing to the Dallas Mavericks. I almost thought that I thought the Timberwolves were going to the finals right then. I didn't think they were going to lose
I
to
did
Dallas.
too.
So
Yeah.
again, maybe he pulls that type of series out of his
If he
ass
does, they
again.
win.
If he
Yeah.
does, they can win this thing. I'm gonna say one more thing before we move on to you guys still won this game. And this could be the very reason why you lose the series, also, because you didn't mention this part, and I'll say it. But the fact that you are pretty bad at this and still won the game, I don't know. That if I'm a Celtic fan, I think I kind of worry about that just a little bit. You guys gave the Celtics
Yeah.
so many second, third chance, fourth chance opportunities with the lack of defensive
Yeah.
rebounding and the Celtics getting all these
Yeah.
offensive rebounds, and they still lost the game in overtime. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for the Celtics. It's bad for the Knicks that they're getting out rebounded like that. But for you to
Right.
still win getting out rebounded like that, what if Thibodeau comes up with some type of strategy? They go a little bigger, or they just emphasize get the boards better and
Yeah.
more.
Got to crash.
Got to crash them
Derek
because
White's crashing that board. Drew Holiday is crashing that board. You got to get in there and box those guys out.
look, as good as the Celtics are, they don't really just Horford and Porzingis. I didn't even see Porzingis when I was watching. It was Horford the
I
whole
didn't
way
either. Yeah, I didn't either.
when I was
Yeah.
watching. Don't know what's up with him. If maybe he didn't play the rest of the game. I'm not sure. But those guys are not just the scariest guys at the rim. They're not the best rim protectors we talk about. Get down there and put a body on a body and get the rebound. If they can clean that up, again, I'm impressed that they won this game and they got out rebounded. I was about to turn it like so many times, like, damn. How you gonna
Yeah.
win the game if you can't get a rebound, man? They literally missed
Right.
like three threes in a row, and you still give them a chance to make a fourth three. Like that's how many times the Celtics went off getting offensive rebounds. But the Celtics, they had a record tonight, and this is something that won't happen again as you text. They missed a record breaking or a tie break. No, it was a record breaking
Yeah, it's a record. Yeah.
45 missed threes tonight.
That's a
That
lot
probably
of
won't
threes to
happen
even
again, will
take.
it? Yeah,
That's a lot of threes to even just take in a game. But to miss that many threes,
that's what I hate
and a
about the
lot of people
game. That's what
complain
we
about,
hate about
like,
the game.
yeah, a lot of folks complain about this version of the NBA. That's why that is a lot of threes to take, first of
Yes.
all. And then to miss that many, that's crazy.
Yeah. When it's
That's
bad, it's
crazy.
bad. When it's bad, it's bad. And that's what I don't like about the Celtics. A lot of bad possessions, just shooting threes. You're not making them, but let's just keep on shooting them. Yeah, that's not good. That's not even really good coaching. So yeah, Celtics lost game one. They should have. I'm glad they did because they almost got away with a steal here. To me, it would have been a steal because they didn't deserve the win.
Hmm.
They got outplayed in the second half, or at least the last 6, 7 minutes that I watched it. They got outplayed, and they came back and it's a complete meltdown for the Celtics. I don't want to
Hmm.
I don't want to just give the Knicks too much credit, but they deserve credit. But again, the
Absolutely.
champs didn't play like the champs, look like the champs tonight. I said earlier today that these teams like the Celtics and the Thunder and the Cavs coming off of this long, long break from being so
Long
damn
break.
great and eliminating their teams early, they could be a little rusty. It could be, it could take a minute for them to get into it. But what's crazy about this is, the Celtics got out to a good start. They
Yeah.
were up 20. And for them to fall flat like this, some people will say it was a meltdown and they choked. Um,
Yeah. Well, it goes by the old saying: you live by the three and you die by it.
that's true. And
You
that's
know,
why I hate it.
we've seen plenty of team, I mean, nights where those old Golden State teams will just absolutely run you out of the gym.
Yeah,
I mean, just I mean, even on their off nights, they would still make enough threes to run you out of the gym.
right,
But then
right.
you see nights where they couldn't. There were a couple nights where they just couldn't get it to go, and you lose those games typically.
And Terrence, this is the reason why sometimes Jason Tatum gets some flack because you don't have to
Yeah,
continue shooting those threes, man. What did Jordan always do when he wasn't shooting good from the field? He get to the free throw line. Let me see this
get to the
ball
line.
go in
Yeah,
the
get to the
in the hoop
line.
for a minute. Yeah.
Listen, people can say what they want to say. People use the term closer is so, and I'll say this: we can get on, get on to Raw.
Hmm.
The term closer is so overused, and I didn't even like it when they started using it. This was back when, like, I guess Kobe's kind of prime, oh 07, oh 08, oh 09, that time frame when they started using it. But if we're gonna use it, let's give it its just due. If
Yeah.
you are a closer and that game is one possession in the end and you can't pull your team through and
Yeah.
through overtime, come on,
Right.
bro. You're not a closer. You're not.
Yeah.
You're a phony, unfortunately. And as much as I like Jason Tatum, if you know anything about Jason Tatum's story and the way his mom, he had to raise him pretty much by herself, carrying this man. I heard stories about her in law school, carrying him around like he was in class with her pretty much the whole time. Like,
Oh,
incredible story, man. Perseverance. So I'm not talking about Jason Tatum the person.
okay.
I don't want to meet Jason Tatum, and he LeBron's me, so I'm not talking about him personally. I would love to meet him in person, actually.
Where is he
Uh,
from? Where is Jason Tatum from?
he spent a lot of time in Memphis, but I think he's from St. Louis. I think his mom is from St. Louis, or they
He
moved
spent
there
a
at
lot
some
of time
point.
in Memphis.
He spent a lot of time in Memphis. Yeah,
Oh, I did not know that.
yeah.
I
I
did not
think
know
his
that.
mom is either from Memphis or she went to law school in Memphis or
What
something
is
like that.
what? If you don't mind, can we ask? Can I ask you what his mother's race or culture is? Because I think
They're
Tatum's
black.
biracial, right? Is he not biracial?
If he is, his dad is white. I think his mom is black.
Oh, okay, okay. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about his dad, to be honest. I don't think that his dad was absent. I don't. I'm not saying that, but I think it was a
uh-huh,
situation where, single parent situation, so he was with his
okay,
mom a lot. And this is just pieces of his story. I haven't read his bio or anything, but this is just from, I know somebody that was in law school with his mom, and she was telling me about how, they were always in law school together,
that's
and she
interesting.
had him
That's
with her.
interesting.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
he might
So
have
I
now,
would love to. I would
yeah,
love
he
to
might
meet
have
him.
just got
I'm
some
not
more.
talking about him. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
because
talking about him personally, but I think his game sometimes can be phony. Like,
gotcha.
he gives you the impression that he is new generation Kobe. It's always Kobe this. He's a Celtic wearing a purple wristband sometimes, but that mentality ain't there
Yeah,
because Kobe get to the rack, doc. Even older Kobe was gonna find a way to get to the rack when he needed to. And
especially
you mean
on
to tell
Kobe.
me 26-year-old Jason Tatum can't get to the rack in a one possession game?
Yeah, yeah. So okay, that's interesting though. Maybe I got to look into that a little bit more. I probably just got a little bit more respect for Jason Tatum
Oh
now.
yeah, yeah. I would
I didn't
love
know
to
he's
meet
been
him,
around
man.
this area. If he, yeah, he can come
Yeah,
from this. Yeah, he definitely been through through some perseverance.
yeah.
Yeah, I have to check that out. But anyway, good stuff. I agree with everything that you said too, man. We don't have a problem with Jason Tatum as a man or him as a
Nah,
leader.
not
It's
at
just
all, not at
his
all. I
game
like him. I like the guy.
sometimes. Yeah, his game though sometimes kind of like okay,
It's too
when he's
finesse.
good,
It's
he's
too
good.
finesse. Yeah, it
I think
looks
so.
good.
I think so too.
It looks
Yep.
good.
Yep.
I I'll say this. It's almost like a
Jason's
little
dad was
bit
his
better
trainer.
version.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so I'm
So
not saying that Jason's dad wasn't there now, but just from
uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm just saying I want to make sure that people know I'm not saying Jason's dad wasn't there,
Oh,
but
okay.
there were
Okay.
some situations where his mom had to take him to law school and
I bet
so yeah,
but we're gonna move on, but I want to ask you one more question.
yeah.
Did you see this on a documentary or
No,
something?
this is someone that I know personally that was
Oh,
in
that's
law
how you
school with
heard
his
it. Okay.
mom and yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I was about
yeah.
to say if they showed this or something, they always make it seem like the father's not around
They always make it
for
seem like the
whatever
father
reason.
is
They
absent.
would do
Yeah,
that.
from what I
But okay,
understand,
but
his
no,
father
this is
was
just
there, but
what you heard.
so I'm not
Okay,
trying to say that his father was absent or
I
anything.
got
I
you.
don't know anything about his dad.
Well, he couldn't have
Uh,
been according to Scuba Steve. If Jason Tatum's dad was his trainer, then no, he definitely
right,
had to be around at some point or enough. He
yeah,
also he's shot
uh,
down OKC, so I'm thinking he's happy about OKC right now,
right.
being up on Denver, and they are up 10.
But yeah, I just need Tatum to be more aggressive in this situation. Hey man, whatever it takes to get the ball in the goal. It's that simple,
Yeah.
and he's very capable.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt about it. Like I said, when he's good, he's good. I just don't like sometimes his game when he's not trying to get to the rim, put the ball on the floor because he can do it.
That's what I
He
was about to
just
say.
he gets like James Harden too much, just like just step
Well,
back,
I was about
shoot
to say,
three.
yeah, I was about to say a little bit better version of Paul George.
Okay, okay.
Like when his shot goes in, it looks effortless. It looks perfect.
But
Perfect form.
does he play defense like Paul George did or
He play.
does?
You know what?
Sometimes he
Uh,
does. Sometimes
he
he does
plays pretty good
defend.
defense. He plays pretty
Yeah,
good defense, I think. Yeah, I give
yeah.
him credit for his defense. I know that one series against Brooklyn, he put the clamps on Durant like nobody's ever done.
Tatum.
Yeah, yeah. That
Okay,
time they swept Brooklyn, yeah, he put the clamps on Durant. So,
okay.
I got to give him credit for
I was
that.
talking about Kevin Durant and James Harden earlier today on the show, and yeah, those
Yeah,
guys have not amounted to anything. Like Durant hasn't done a damn thing since he left Golden State. Like literally, that's all he'll be remembered for. And James Harden will be remembered for continually to ghost himself in Game Sevens and just have a
yeah,
great regular season career. I agree with your Scuba Steve. He said SGA is a dog. He is. And I think
mm-hmm.
in about a few more weeks, we'll be saying he's an MVP. Um, and the only way that changes is if well, I don't think it'll change. Jokic could still get it. Don't get me
Nah,
wrong, but I think they're
yeah.
going to give
They
it to
usually
SGA.
awarded in the second round. I think they usually
Oh,
awarded in
okay.
the second
Well,
round.
not in
If
a
I'm not
couple of weeks.
mistaken. So
Then
he'll get
shit,
it
in a couple of days.
couple days. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, right now the Denver Nuggets will not go away. They came back and it's 76-82. Russell Westbrook at the free throw line. Steve, do you think OKC is going to win tonight? Do you think they're going to win this series? He also says KD's six going to be released next spring.
Re-release
PB and
next
J's and
spring.
Art Pearls.
Bro,
um,
I'm way out of the sneaker game, but that's good information. And maybe I'll get a pair.
right. I used to buy my daughter some of his shoes, but this was still like a long time ago. I remember a certain pair that wasn't too bad. She liked them, but Kevin Durant, like, I'm just saying. And James Harden, same thing. Just not a whole lot to talk about career wise. And I'm tired of their drama and where they're going to go every year. It's
Every
always something
year.
about them
Every
guys.
year is
It's
always where they're
always,
gonna play next, who they're gonna team
yeah.
up with.
And it's like, who
And
cares?
that's yeah, who
And
cares? Who
nothing's gonna
cares?
happen. They're just gonna play, make a lot of money, and go home around the same time as they do every year. Tomorrow we got
Yeah.
game two between the Pacers and the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are going to try to get back in the groove of things. I think they just was off too long. And then after that game, we got the Warriors and the Timberwolves.
Well,
The
yeah,
Warriors getting one
that
day off.
Darius Garland, that and Darius Garland has a bad toe, so he was out game one. I don't know if he'll be back for game two or not, but they clearly
Okay.
need Darius Garland. And you know what, man, give some credit to the Pacers too, man, because they don't really have that guy that's going to get you 30 or 40 every night, but they got a
Right.
lot of guys that's going to get you 15, a lot of guys that might get you 20, 17. Like I think
That's true.
everybody in the starting lineup had like at least like 15, if I'm not mistaken. They had a couple of double digits on the bench. Like that is a solid team, and they're not going to beat themselves. Is what they're not going to do.
No.
And shout out to Halliburton
No.
for leading all of that. But you know, Pascal Siakam is still doggone good.
Yep.
Yeah, man, a lot of guys are gonna get you 15, between 15 and 20. You're not gonna really see a whole lot of 30s on that scoreboard, but all those doggone 15s and 20s add up,
It
and
it
it equals
does.
a whole lot of points at the end of the night.
And they're fast. They run well in transition. They've got youth
Well,
on their side. So yeah, yeah. The Cavaliers may be in for a competition, a battle, no doubt about it. But I mean, Cleveland, some nights they look like they can beat Boston. So I'm gonna say that Cleveland just needs to get it together, make the proper adjustments, and I think they'll be all right. Again, not throwing any shade at the Pacers because the Pacers are no scrubs. They've shown us that. But now if they can get past the Cavs in this series, then hey, and now we're talking about something now. Maybe they really would have a chance to get to the NBA Finals, depending on who they're playing. What if we had the Knicks and the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals? Wouldn't that feel like we're going back to NBC coming up this fall? Like if that
yeah,
doesn't give you the old '90s, late '90s, early 2000 nostalgia, Knicks Pacers Eastern Conference Finals, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. But again, the Celtics missed 45 threes a night, and as you said, Terrence, even though you're a Knicks fan, even you can admit that shit ain't gonna happen again.
no,
Uh,
no,
uh, Terrence,
no.
before we get to the Monday Night Raw recap, the Denver Nuggets are still not going away. I'm telling you that right now. I hope I get this one right too. I said it would be upsets tonight for these game ones, and it started with Indiana yesterday. And I just think these teams have been off too long. It doesn't make any sense that Holmgren can do that. Just fake pump, fake step back. I can shoot this three. Like it ain't nothing. Man, what is he like 8 feet tall when he does this and shoot?
Man,
Oh man. Okay, so
way
that's a
up
good
there.
that's a good game right there between the Nuggets and Clippers, 82-90. I'm sorry, Westbrook just hit a three. Take that. And that's what he just told the front row. 85
Westbrook
to 90.
playing against his second old team in a row.
Westbrook is getting some clapback, man. He getting some man, you could see that game 7 against the Clippers that looked personal. And it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you motherfuckers thought y'all could do this without me. Okay, yeah, y'all going home. And that's exactly what happened. He had a lot to do with it. And um, here come the Nuggets, man. They're rolling, they're running. Don't let him shoot because he doesn't make a lot of his shots. What is the Christian Braun? I think this is his name. I don't know why he gets so much playing time. Is it his defense, his intensity? He hustles hard because
He's a
okay,
solid
because he
player.
doesn't never really
He
knock
he
down his
doesn't do one
shots.
thing really well. He's a
Yeah,
solid player.
okay.
He's just a solid player. He
They need more depth.
plays
They
solid
need more depth.
defense.
That's why I'm like,
Yeah, they need more
can
depth
they
there.
can they really be the Spurs? They need somebody else. Um,
He'd be a really good bench player, but not a great starter
that's
in
what
my
I think
opinion.
he is.
But he's what they have, and he's serviceable,
Yeah, he's serviceable. Yeah, gritty, grinding. I get it. All,
and
all of that.
he can get in the air, and he
That's
can get
right.
in the
That's right.
air. Yeah,
Scuba Steve, he's still talking with us, man. I appreciate it. He said, well, look, and
absolutely.
y'all, can we get that lights up? Can we get that thumb button while we're here? And there's a couple of people in here. We got 0 likes. It helps us out in the algorithm, helps everybody else find us too, because they're having a hard time finding the Great Debate Show. I'm being told when they type it in. So if we could get the lights up in these comments. But again, he's saying that we've been patiently waiting for a ship. That's the championship. So you are OKC Thunder fan. Okay, Steve. Yeah, I think you are. I remember you being in here. Hadn't seen you in a while, but yeah, I think I do remember that. Miss Prime Russ. Shed is a dog too, no doubt. 85 to
Yeah,
90
shit.
going into the fourth quarter.
Uh,
This is gonna be a good
Shout out
finish.
to Shed for Shed's been having to overcome injury after injury since coming into the league.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see him on a big stage for a change.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I want OKC to get some love. They I would
Yeah,
like to
absolutely.
see they've been so disrespected, or I would say overlooked, even though they've been a number one seed. I think this is their second year in a row doing it. But at some point, you got to stop saying that they're inexperienced. They got to show the experience. So if they can get to the Western
That's right.
Conference Finals, NBA Finals, this will be a huge step for them. Um, we're going to move on, Terrence. But one thing I can say about the Thunder, and it pains me to say this, but when I look at them, they are what my Memphis Grizzlies were supposed to be by now. John Morant is what SGA
Mm,
is already now, and after a suspension and then some injuries here and there,
yeah.
a few years has passed by, and we're still kind of stuck at the same position. You know, we haven't got any further or progressed anymore from 2022 when Draymond Green said those Grizzlies they're gonna go somewhere, and we haven't done that yet. Now he's saying that same thing about the Houston Rockets. So um, we'll see. But anyway, good game, good win for the
Yeah.
Knicks. Before we get to the Raw, one more thing, Terrence. What do you want to say about your kicker or your former kicker, Justin Tucker, who was released today
Yeah.
for your Baltimore Ravens? We have not been talking about this much. Nobody's been talking about it, and we know why. But in case anybody didn't know, if you've been under a rock or something, Justin Tucker has been like Justin Tucker has been in some shit. I'm talking about like um shit, is it 16 cases that has been brought up
It's
on
quite a
him?
few. It's quite a few.
Yeah, it's quite a few. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right.
Yeah.
I want to say it's
Yeah.
16.
That's very important.
Very important. Let's see here, because this news happened. Terrence, tell us about when this news broke and what you were telling me earlier about
Yeah. So
how they
like
broke that.
I think I saw it. I forgot what time I texted you. I may have seen it around 2 or 3. And a lot of times, drivers, I feel like this is very strategic about when these news breaks happen. You know, you put this out on a Monday evening. It misses all the morning shows. It's going to miss the morning shows in the morning because we're going to be talking about the playoffs.
Yep.
They're going to have a Shadur Sanders conversation in there. They're going to have a LeBron conversation in there. Neither one of them are playing sports right now. Justin Tucker, if they talk about it, is going to be at the very back end of the show. But when it was Deshaun Watson, same scandal type situation, massage issues or whatever. These things headline the shows for pretty much a whole time frame.
Yep.
So I do believe that these things are strategic, and I don't even know if it's a situation where they are trying to protect Tucker. I don't think they care because I don't think they think that Justin Tucker brings the same ratings as Deshaun Watson. So because we got to keep in mind, ESPN is not a journalism TV station. They're entertainment based. It's entertainment. I forgot the exact letters, but the E is for entertainment, and they are very strategic in when they put these things out because like I said, they already know at the time frame they did it. They're not going to talk about it on Monday. They may have talked about it on Sports Center, but I guarantee you they just read or something. Justin Tucker has been released. They probably read a statement, but I guarantee they didn't bring in the legal expert. They didn't bring in an NFL expert. They didn't bring in. I'm just guessing. I didn't watch it, so if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. I'd appreciate it. But I can remember a lot of times where they were bringing legal experts on certain players. They would bring in um, um, they would bring in a whole lot of different people to have a bigger discussion because it brought them ratings. We wanted to hear what was going on with Deshaun Watson, what was going to happen, what could happen. But with Tucker, it's been way under the radar. It's been under the carpet. It's been under everything. This the second, third time I've heard about it since it happened. I think it happened right after the Super Bowl. If I'm not mistaken, is when it first came out. So bottom line is Justin Tucker should have been cut. My Ravens should have learned from these types of situations. Hey man, get rid of that guy. And they're saying it's a football move, but BS. Yeah, I mean,
And
yeah,
that's what
Scuba
I don't
Steve, you're
like.
right.
I don't like them saying that
Yeah,
that's a football move when you know damn well. So
please,
you're not going to
please,
acknowledge that this motherfucker is released because he
please.
really has been accused. And the ESPN, I will give them credit. Bleacher Report reported it like this: breaking news: the Ravens cut Tucker. GM Eric DeCosta announces football decision to move on from longtime kicker, and they left it at that. At least ESPN did say kicker Justin Tucker released in what Ravens call football decision. He's also accused of inappropriate behavior by 16
Thank
massage
you.
therapists. They at least they put that
Yeah.
in there.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ESPN,
Right.
for that. Because
Yeah.
that's what we ain't talking about. The motherfucker
Right.
has been accused of inappropriate behavior by 16 massage therapists. We were like, everybody was laughing. And that's one thing I found funny about the media and what they do. I mean, we know why they do it, but I just gotta see it. I was I was doing some work one day and just getting rid of some orders, and this little girl came up to the truck and she was just talking to her family. And well, she wasn't that little, she's a teenager, but she
Hmm.
was just making these jokes about Diddy, and somebody was playing some music on the stage. We were at an event and she just started talking about Diddy and the diddler, and everybody
Hmm.
was laughing, and I'm like, ha ha ha. And I'm not gonna tell you what I said about Epstein, but everybody got silent. And it was like, oh, wait a minute. I thought we were making the same jokes about about another, person
Yeah.
that does the
It was funny
same.
then. It ain't so funny now.
It's not so funny now when I say Epstein or Vince McMahon. Like, these people are, they did the same things. So, and anyway, everybody talked about Deshaun Watson, Terrence. This was making the headlines every damn morning. And I don't think it was just because he's a quarterback. But now Justin Tucker, 16, that's a lot too. I don't know how many Deshaun Watson ended up having in all, but 16 is a lot. And there could still be more, and nobody's talking about it. So just wanted to say
Right.
that.
But now let me ask you this, Jarvis, before we move on from it. But like I said, he should have been cut. As a Ravens
Yep.
fan, I didn't want him. I didn't want him on the team I root for. Just it's, first of all, he was terrible last year by his standards. And you know what? First of all, let me ask this: do we know if this is a Tony Busby case? I haven't looked. I really haven't looked into
I would hope not. I don't
that
know.
part
That's
of
a
it.
good question. I'm not
Yeah, I need
sure.
to look into that because if it's a Tony Busby case, I feel funny about anything that guy touches. That dude is a moron. He is a opportunist,
Yeah,
and he
if it's
really needs
Busby,
to.
yeah, he
He
probably
needs to
ain't
be
touched. He
dis.
probably ain't done anything inappropriate.
He needs to be disbarred. If it's a
Yeah,
Tony Busby case, Tony Busby needs to be disbarred. He's an opportunist, and it should be illegal what he does, in my opinion.
yeah.
However, however, that does not mean Tucker is innocent. Get that dude off the Ravens. Get him out of the league. As far as I'm concerned, put him in jail. As far as I'm concerned, because bro, you got to be smarter than that. Especially like after you saw what happened to Deshaun Watson in the same types of situations, and you still go and do this.
Oh, but now, Terrence. Now look, some of these things they said happened back when y'all won the Super Bowl the last time. Some of this stuff dates back to 2012, 2013. He did some of this stuff according to reports. He did some of this stuff before Ray Rice did anything in the elevator. Oh
Oh,
no,
Scuba
was it the
Steve, you
elevator?
on
Yeah, it
one
was the
tonight?
elevator.
Yeah, elevator.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
that could be true, and that could be true too. So yeah, let me hold back on some of that because I don't know the timeline of all of these things. But at the end of the day, and listen, in fairness, the same thing should happen to Ben Roethlisberger. He should have been gone.
yeah. He should have. That motherfucker got away with it twice. I don't think people
He got
remember
away with
that.
he got away with I don't even like saying the R word
I
two
know.
times.
Yeah, two times. I've heard the stories. I heard the story that was told, that the one in the club. One was in the club,
In the
like
club after the Super Bowl,
the
like the
bathroom.
next night maybe.
Really? Yeah, I think
It
you're
was right
right.
after the Super Bowl, maybe
Yeah,
like
I
a
think
week
you're
after the
right.
Super. It was right after the Super Bowl. I think it was the next night, if I'm not mistaken.
Bodyguard making sure, holding it down, making sure nobody comes in and she didn't get out. Like,
He should have been
wow.
out of the league. Tony Busby, go
Yeah.
get that one, Tony Busby.
Right, right.
Since you're such an
But
opportunist,
anyway,
go get that one. They already settled though, I think.
Steve is right though. Deshaun was star quarterback at the time when that happened.
He had
That
just signed a
seems
big
like
deal.
so
He
long
had just
ago.
signed a big deal. I get it, but still, right? If you are going to be, that's what I'm saying.
That's
It's
when it usually
entertainment.
happens when they sign big deals. That's when it comes
Absolutely,
out.
it's entertainment. It's not. It is not necessarily journalism ethics. Journalism ethics says I cover this the exact same way I cover this.
Yeah,
Entertainment says I can kind of dictate how I cover these things and strategic about when I release these things. So we ain't gonna hear Justin Tucker a whole lot on first take and places like that, unless Stephen A. Push fight. But Stephen A. didn't sign that big contract. Stephen A. got to watch his own back now.
Well, after the release, you would think that they would say something, but we'll see. Since it's a release, maybe somebody will mention it.
But
But
here's
I
the
still
thing: if they talk about that, have they talked about Shannon? See what I'm saying? So it's
they're gonna stay away from all of it. Then, yeah.
they're gonna stay away from it.
Shannon Sharp is not gonna come back to ESPN either.
I don't think so.
I would
I
be
don't think so.
surprised, to be honest with you, from
I
what
don't
I'm
think
hearing
so.
and the way it's looking. And there's a tape, and I don't know. There's a tape that is leaked, and um, Shannon told
Well,
people that
apparently.
it was
So
a
let me
tape
just let
before
me
anybody
just.
even knew.
I don't know who's all there. We got a few people on here. First of all, Shannon Sharp just got to be smarter about who he does these things with.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost.
Oh yeah.
You don't do these types of things with people who has nothing to lose. That young lady didn't have anything to lose,
Nothing.
and he offered her an NDA. She refused to sign it. That should have been the end of discussion. That should have been the end of discussion. So I don't know if you know the timeline, but she got upset after the Instagram video leaked because she thought she was the only one. The Instagram video leaks. She takes a trip to Houston. Shannon Sharp still engages with her. So Shannon just got to be a little smart about who he does these things with.
And have better taste in it too. Man, like that's what you finna
Well,
get.
again,
That's what you
in
about to
these,
be out of $50 million for.
yeah, in that type of situation, he was looking for somebody that he can control. Typically, that's somebody younger because the older women ain't going for it. I've got money, I've got fame, I've got some power,
And Mo
and
had just
and
told his ass
unfortunately,
on his own show that you need to stop
yeah,
messing with them younger women and
yep,
get you an old bitch that know how to do this
and
right there and have
unfortunately,
that.
in Shannon's case, he weaponized his blackness. I'm a big black man, and they listen. I don't that old race play stuff. They can have that, but that's what Shannon was using to get what he wanted. God bless him. And unfortunately, there is no win for Shannon. Even if this case comes out and he has to spend $0, the things that are going to come out about what they were more than likely doing won't be kind.
It sounded like it was just some bondage type of shit from what I heard. I don't know, but
Yeah,
then
it was.
again,
Yeah, it was.
but
I'm trying to not go there, but yeah, that's what.
I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. I mean, that's what it seems like, and it's like, what's wrong? What the fuck is wrong with that? If that's what the brother into, let them do their thing. But
I'm not judging him. I'm
evidently,
not judging him.
if it was more than that, then that's a totally different story.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
man, yeah,
But that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Shannon, I know you can do better than that, though, man. But anyway, Steve is still here with us, man, and he's really giving us a good laugh here. We're about to get into Monday Night Raw in a minute. He said that the best comment that he's seen. First, I got to say the other one. What did you say about? We were talking about the massages, and he
Oh, that
said,
was funny.
"Yeah, Scuba Steve on YouTube Live said, how do you think he was booming them kicks?" He's talking about Justin Tucker, who was released today from the Ravens. He said he had to get some nice massages. Watson and Tucker aren't on the same level, mainly since he's already on his way out. Well, yeah, he's on his way out, and Tucker ass is out, and it was not a football move. Um, how let's see here. He may become a Pat McAfee. Wow. Pat was an entertainer even as a player. Who you mean, Justin Tucker may become a Pat McAfee? Now, if that happens, Deshaun Watson should still get signed by another football team. Then I don't know. But anyway, yes, Shannon has been slipping. Ocho needs to keep shades straight. Man,
No, good luck.
good
As a
luck.
50-year-old man, all right. And that the
That is true.
IG was not an accident. The IG was not an accident. He can say what he want to say. Even to go live on her drivers, I sometimes I forget to like hit the button. Like it's nah, dog. I'm not believing that. That was not an accident.
Is this another one of his? Because this is what I heard on the internet for a long time after that happened, that incident. This would happen to be another one of his stunts to make people believe he's not homosexual. Is it? You know, I mean, or is this all a swerve, or is this real? I mean, because at
uh,
least it's a woman, and people would think, well, like if he's R-ing women, then maybe he's not
well,
homosexual. I don't know.
knowing what I have heard about about the Rainbow Coalition, I think if he was that way, someone would have come out by now and ratted Shannon out.
Mm, well,
Someone from that community.
yeah, I think somebody that could be clickbait though. I saw something a few days ago. It's this dude that he has been seen with at a
His
few games.
his stylist is
Um,
what he calls him. His fashion designer or something.
his stylist looks very flamboyant, and
Yeah,
a lot of
I don't
people
think
think
Shannon would
that.
take anybody in public though.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah. I
you,
don't.
you
Yeah,
you're
I
probably
think if
right.
he was that way by now, I think someone from that team would have outed him.
You're probably right. Well, I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna leave it alone. The same thing I said Diddy should have did, but he didn't listen either. If these guys are, well, we know Diddy is, we've heard.
Yeah.
Um, if all of these guys, including Shannon, are bi, just come on out the closet. It's cool to be homosexual now. It's okay. It's the shit. The LGBTQ will take you in, open
Well,
arms. I mean, just it will save you. It will save your ass from a lot of legal shit if you just come out and just
well,
say
we say that though,
what did
but
Ray
you got to
Mills
look at the
do?
White Howard. When the White Howard stuff came out, it cost him. It really cost him the back end of his career.
Because he didn't tell the truth.
Yeah, because I mean,
He didn't come out the
he
closet.
didn't have to. He didn't have to at that point. Uh, I'm not even trying to be funny because like it is what it is. Bro was out with a butt injury, and all of a sudden, all these
Was.
things started coming out the woodwork. Now he was able to sneak on the Lakers roster, get a championship. But you mean to tell me after that bubble, as good as he looked guarding Jokic, as good as he looked on that team, that was the end of the White Howard.
He
Like
could
pretty
be
much the
helping
last we
Jokic. He could
saw of
be
him.
helping Jokic ass out right now with
Yeah,
some debt.
he
Yeah,
could have helped
I
the Lakers
agree.
out
But
this
what he
year
could help the Lakers out. Well, why is he not in the league? What did he do?
because they found out about him.
Nah, most that's half the league. That ain't it.
I agree, but I just
Then you know how I know that? Half the league have been on record saying ain't no party like a Diddy party. So they're
Scuba
like that
Steve,
too.
let me tell you, Scuba Steve, and
LeBron
I
James, you the main one who said ain't no party like a Diddy party.
he did.
He said that.
Scuba Steve, as a Nick fan, let me tell you something. The last thing Cat has to do is come out. If you can't look at that brother and see what's going on there, that ain't my business. But Cat ain't got to come nowhere.
I never really paid attention to Cat. Cat's got a don't he got like a
Ooh,
model, an IG model for her? Oh yeah,
he
well
can
that's what
have what
they
he want
do.
to have.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
what they do, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Cover up.
God bless him. I love the guy,
Just
but
I wish
yeah,
these people would just come on out and just, say what they are and stop how did Pimp C used to say it back in the day? Stop contaminating the you know what and just stay on that side of the
Pimp C
fence.
was so hilarious. Pimp C was
He was
hilarious.
he was hilarious, man. He was hilarious. He was hilarious. Rip to that brother too. But Steve is having a great time with us tonight. We appreciate you, brother. He's having some fun making
Absolutely.
me laugh as well. Um, he says Shannon is low key Dwight Howard. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not, that would explain why he's on LeBron's dick so much. Like maybe he literally is on his dick. I don't know. But I mean, like I think they both they were going to Diddy parties, man. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to the WWE route. 105, no 104.95. It's a 9-point lead. OKC looks like they're gonna keep holding on to their lead. The Nuggets are
Yeah.
gonna keep hanging in there, but they're not gonna be able to close in.
Okay,
I don't
they
think in
don't have
time.
enough tonight.
6 minutes left. Yeah, they're running out of time here. Anyway, we'll give you the update on that though as it goes. We got some Raw to recap here. It was a interesting show tonight. It wasn't that bad, Terrence. It's funny how they're going week to week. One week is good, the next week is bad. Man, I missed the Attitude Era. It was lit
I know
every
it.
motherfucking week
I know it.
on both
Oh
stations
man,
for that matter.
nothing like that time, man. That literally and Stone Cold. I saw an interview with Stone Cold talking about this recently, but man, I can't speak for anybody else, but definitely some of the happiest times of my life. But there were no times like Monday night. Monday
Yeah.
night was just like Christmas every week.
Yes. Yes.
and it's
And you would have had to
hard to
live. You would have had
duplicate
to
that.
live through that to understand what we
You just
mean.
had to be there, man, to have that
Yes.
remote and have to press go back or previous channel from Nitro to Raw every doggone night.
Every
Like
week. And then
wrestling, as good as it's been, I know Roman money wise took it here from an entertainment level. It'll never get that good again. It just can't.
yeah. For me, it was even harder because it was Monday Night Raw, it was WCW Nitro, and it was Monday Night
And
Football.
Monday Night Football. And
You
see,
know,
Jarvis, most of
during
the
the
time,
football season now.
I
Yeah.
I wasn't even a big football fan then. Like I would tune in, my dad would tune in, but man, on Monday nights we didn't watch Monday Night Football.
Well, Terrence, I'm gonna say this. At that time, from 99, 98 to 2001, it was better than Monday Night Football. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah, oh
you.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I would be watching the game and I'd be like, this sucks. Some weeks, and then the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
Okay, they're on. Like, damn, I was trying to watch the match and the Rams scored again already. That's what it kind of was, and then that kind of got very very overwhelming. And it's like, man, look, this is repetitive. I'm sick of seeing the Rams. They ain't gonna lose, and so it's back to Monday Night Raw. Forget it. I ain't even putting it back on there. So the Rams had
Yeah.
a lot to do with why I think the Monday Night Wars were better than the Monday Night Football at the time. The Rams would be on there every other week. I want to say this was Peyton Manning early years where he was throwing picks all the
Hmm.
time, and it went out.
And
It
that
was
may have been the
terrible.
turning point too. That may have been the turning point, that game where they came back and beat the Bucks. Like I think that gave Monday Night Football a lot of spotlight that they didn't normally have.
Yeah, yeah. Now
Brett
that was like
Favre
oh
throwing
two.
the 4 touchdowns.
That was like oh
Yeah.
two oh three. Yeah, yeah.
Brett Favre throwing the 4 touchdowns the night his father died. That was a big night.
That was cool.
Antonio, I think that was a night where Antonio Freeman made like a crazy circus catch to win the game against the
Now
Vikings.
that was my senior year. That was my senior year.
Yeah,
That I remember that.
yeah,
I remember that, man. I fell asleep, woke up, saw the play. That was the same. Well, let me go back a bit. And then 2000 was kind of rocking then because that same season that Freeman done that. I can remember my cousin and Wookie and them talking about it in homeroom, and I was like, "Yeah,
yeah.
man." I woke up and seen it. I had took a nap, and we were talking about that play. That was the same year of the Monday Night Miracle, where the Jets were getting their asses whooped by the Dolphins, and then they come back and yeah, that was crazy. I woke up, it was like 12 o'clock, midnight, and the game was still on, and the Jets had came back. I said, man, what the fuck did I miss?
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
we had a few memorable classic games, but for the
yeah.
most
So, but
part, the
Monday nights,
Monday Night
man.
Wars were kind of kicking Monday Night Football's ass at that time. I think Dennis Miller was doing commentary for Monday Night Football. That was dreadful to watch.
That was
Like put that
atrocious.
shit on
That
mute.
was so terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna finally get to the Monday Night Raw, man. But you took me back, man. That was some good
We an hour into this thing now, boy.
a good yeah, but that was some good times, man. But you know what though? Monday
Absolutely.
Night Raw was a good show, but we ain't gonna just run through that. Like we're gonna run through it. Okay,
Right.
so
Yeah. Sure.
Monday Night Raw started off with Jey Uso. Jey Uso came out like always, and they did their eating and shit. He's the champion. I gotta admit, the championship belt does look pretty good around his waist. Um,
I got a young cousin, 9 years old. I'm legit getting him one for his birthday, man. Like,
why not?
uh, I wanted that winged eagle so bad because I was such, I'm such a big Brett guy, and that was Brett's championship. But that Jay Uso, man, that Yeet, man, so many kids have gravitated towards Jay. I'm getting him one of those, man. I don't know who I'm gonna have to rob to pay for it, but somebody better watch out.
Go ahead and do it, man. Yeah, I would say that's a good thing. Do
Pew
it.
pew.
I hear you. But look, that's a 1-on-1 right there in my book. But he is starting to make that one look cool. The new World Heavyweight Championship right now. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
lie. It looked good on him. So he came out, Terrence, and he was talking about Logan Paul. They've got a match coming up at Backlash. So he's like, man, I ain't even gonna waste no time. You got beef, Logan Paul? I'm here. If you here, come on out. Now Logan Paul wasn't
Yeah,
even there tonight. So, but
of
anyway, we
course.
didn't get Logan Paul. That's not who came out. Who came out? Dan Paul Heyman. Um, looks like Randy gonna be the new champ, which I was 100%. Wish I was 100% would rock with. No, Randy Orton's not gonna win the championship. Steve, you believe that? No, he's not gonna win the
I would
championship.
love for him to get one more run with it at some point. Maybe he'll have a heel run towards the end of his career like Cena is right now, but I don't think he's winning Saturday.
He's not. I quit wrestling too around 2012. Steve recently somewhat started following again. Definitely can dig John Cena being the champ, except the story they rocking. Exactly, guy. That story sucks, and he's a bad heel. Not as good as I thought it was gonna be. I was interested in it because I'm like, okay, this could be interesting because I hated him as whatever that was you want to call him, that character, but that cartoon character. But this is bad. I would rather him go back to the cartoon character. This is not that good to me. I'm sorry. But anyway, Jey Uso's talking and then he's interrupted by Paul Heyman, not Logan Paul. Paul Heyman comes out and he starts talking, man, and it was good because he was actually saying some things that we needed to hear. And Seth Rollins didn't really break it down like this. So Paul Heyman, you know, he starts to talk, and Jey Uso saying, "Hey, bro, like you got some nerves. You really bold to come out here after what you did to my family, after you betrayed my family." And Paul Heyman said, "You want to talk about betraying your family?" Of all people, and they've had their issues within the bloodline, so that's what he's getting at. And then he just, like he starts to tell Jey Uso on how what he did to Roman Reigns. First, he started talking about what he did to CM Punk, my friend, my best friend, and blah blah blah. And CM Punk, the best in the world, but he put me in a fucked up predicament where he wanted me to go against my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. He still said my tribal chief now. Keep that in mind. But he said that he put me in a bad situation. A real friend wouldn't do nothing like that. Basically, what he's saying, and he's right. And then to your boy, to your cousin, Roman Reigns, um, the crowd started chanting OTC. All the warns were up. Boy, you got to be a bad motherfucker to still get people to chant your name, and you ain't even really there. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's good shit. And the only reason why I'm not tripping is because I remember being the same pissed off fan when Brock Lesnar got away with it, and nobody really complained at all. So I'm glad that he can get away with this. It's cool. After he let them talk and do all their booing and chanting and OTC, OTC, Paul Heyman said that how did he say it? He started talking about his best friend in the world, overcoming the adversity that he ever faced in his entire life, and being his corner at WrestleMania, and how he knew that that was hurting Roman, and he knew that Punk was playing him the whole time, you know, pinning him against Roman, and the crowd starts booing, and we hear the CM Punk chants, and Paul Heyman starts to mock them, CM Punk, CM Punk. And he says, well, let me tell you about CM Punk. He's not who you think he is. You don't know how dark his heart really is. And he starts to tell you about the things that he did to him just to get at Roman. Then he starts to talk about Roman and how he, like you can say I betrayed him, but he was bossing me around and telling me that I shouldn't do this to my best friend. I shouldn't do that. And on top of all of that, didn't that motherfucker leave me after he lost the title? And Paul Heyman was kind of blaming Roman Reigns for losing his WWE championship, letting Seth Rollins distract him. That may be one of the clues or the signs to why he thought maybe he was going to be working with Seth Rollins one day after WrestleMania 40, because he brought that up. Him losing to Rollins, losing to Cody, but being distracted by Rollins. Then also saying not only did he lose the title, he went away for months. And you saw what the OG, what the Bloodline 2.0 did to Paul Heyman, and Roman did nothing. Now, Terrence, will you stop me when Paul Heyman? I'm telling you what Paul Heyman was saying. Or you, as CM Punk would normally say, will you stop Paul Heyman when he's telling lies?
Hadn't told one.
I didn't hear any lies either, man.
Hadn't told one.
I didn't hear
And
any
the
either.
best villains are the ones that are believable, the ones that can you can relate to, the ones that you can look at and be like, you know what? He's got a point. Those are always the best villains.
Yeah, yeah. And he was saying a lot of good things, and it was all real. He said he wanted to help his friend. He wanted to help him live out his dream. He wanted Roman Reigns to continue to be the champion. He's all he's did is want these guys to be succeed. He says he's always the freaking scumbag, though. No matter what, he's the liar. He's the one who's wrong. And he just went into this rant. I thought he was about to have a heart attack. He said, "Not this time, though. You blame me, screw you. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right." And he said, "Screw you." And he looked at the fans and he said, "Screw you all too for booing me because you know I'm right. So screw you for booing me like I'm wrong." He went the fuck off. But again, I detected no lies. Once again, the heels. This is the reason why the fans, you're hearing what you're hearing when certain stars come out and you're seeing these heels get better reactions than the baby faces. The heels are the ones who are turning out to really be right and they really have a good case at the stuff that they're bitching about, if you want to be real.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Jay Uso is listening to all of this stuff, Terrence, and he's like, man, bro, what they got to do with me, though? Because he's
Right.
kind of looking like he really ain't wrong. And he didn't say that, but he was like, man, first of all, you calm down and chill because he was going at it. And he was like, are you okay? But this ain't got nothing to do with me. So why you out here? And Paul Heyman pretty much lets him know, man, look, you're right. It doesn't have anything to do with you. I apologize. I'm not even out here to talk about Reigns and Punk. I'm out here to talk about Seth Rollins and that World Heavyweight Championship that's around your waist. There's nothing else left for Seth to do but come for you because of what you have. And let's see here. I'm moving a little too fast. But again, he's basically telling Jey Uso he kind of manipulated him. He kind of manipulated Jey Uso
Yeah.
into accepting a title match, putting his own World Heavyweight title that he just recently won up tonight on Monday Night Raw, his first title defense against Seth freaking Rollins. Basically, that's what it boiled down to. Jey Uso, he ain't gonna be no sucker. He ain't no punk. So
Right.
he takes the bait and he lets him know, shit, I'm game. If he want to do it, we can do it. And Michael Cole and everybody was like, I don't know if this is going to be official though. And I was like, yeah, it probably isn't. And then they made it official. So, how did you like how they opened this up with Paul Heyman kind of giving some explanations for himself on
Yeah.
what he did to Roman
Right.
and Pain? I love that. And then Seth
Yeah.
coming in for the title match because I thought Seth was going to be the champion by the time this show ended.
I'm glad they finally gave Paul a chance to say why he did what he did in his own words. I think
Mm-hmm.
the first time they came out, it was a whole lot of Seth talking. Seth is good on the mic, but Paul is legendary on the mic. So let Paul cook, as the kids say. So I'm glad they did that. And you know what? Hey, if you got Paul Heyman opening up your show, doggone good way to open up your show
Yeah.
because he is one of the few people he ain't got to take a bump, he ain't got to take a punch, he ain't got to throw a kick. If he has that microphone and words are coming out, everybody in there is entertained.
Yeah.
Everybody at home is entertained. He's going to hold the show. Uh, so kudos to the writers and the producers for getting the show started with Paul. And you know what? When you text me, I'm like, dang, because Jarvis texted me thinking that that Seth was going to end up the champion by the end of the night, as he just said. And I was like, nah, there's no way. But then I was like, Now, let me tell you, if this was Vince McMahon, possibly,
He probably would have pulled the trigger.
probably,
Yeah.
he probably would have. Absolutely.
I almost
But
said
nah, man,
something, but
doggone good way to open the show. We'll say that. Good way to open the show and a good way to let Paul finally explain that from his words, why he did what he did.
yeah. Well, Paul Heyman was saying that Seth freaking Rollins will fight you for that title anytime, anywhere. And yeah, that's when they let him know it can be tonight. And it was tonight. So we got the match set. The way to open up the show, World Heavyweight title match tonight, main event, Seth freaking Rollins versus Jey Uso. Didn't see that coming. And I'm like, okay, all right. And that just kind of made the rest of the show cruise through because I'm like, I was I was ready for a highly anticipated match that just sprung up on us because I'm thinking, what the hell are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Steve, I'm with you too, man. On the Teddy Long comment. He said, Mr.
Man,
Teddy coming out saying
Teddy
tonight you going one-on-one with the Undertaker.
with the
Yeah,
Undertaker.
that was good, man. Teddy Long was a damn good general manager. I remember when he was stay giving Edge the blues, man. Holla holla, holla at your boy,
Holla,
player
holla,
player.
holla.
Yeah. So yeah, but Jey Uso and Paul Heyman they in that first segment, and I'm like, okay, we've got a show. Let's see how this is gonna go. And after that, we get highlights from the War Raiders from last week. Don't know why they. Oh yeah, Penta who came and interfered. And why did we get that? Because Penta had a match immediately after that. He was the first match of the night. Again, just Penta, no promos, no mic, no talking, or no one with him that can talk or speak for him. Just Penta coming out there having matches. This time it was with JD McDonough from the Judgment Day, and I can't even tell you how that match went because I was busy watching Jalen Brunson snapping out. I was going back and forth, and the Nick game was pretty damn good, as I said. So
Hey man, give me Lucha Brothers or give me neither one of them.
right, right.
I like Penta. I love Penta's presentation. I love them both in the ring. But bro, it's like Double Dragon. You remember Double Dragon?
Yeah, yeah.
Who wants one of the dragons by themselves? Like, give me both of them. That's
Got a point there.
pointless.
Agreed. Agreed. Um, so Penta has this match with JD McDonough, but before they get to the match, we get Paul Heyman in the back, and he goes straight to the back to the locker room, and he meets up with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, and he finds him in there, and he's just laughing, and he's like, he fell for it. Seth, he really fell for it. And Seth Rollins is just standing there waiting for Paul Heyman to come in and tell him the news. He's smiling, and Seth Rollins kind of took a page out of my book. He said, "Now, Paul, I hate to be the one to say I told you so." No, he said, he said, "You know I love more than anything than to say I told you so." Same thing I was saying. And then he said, "I told you so." And he walked away. And he's got his world title match. Then there was more explanation from Paul Heyman. Because after Seth Rollins walked away, this was some good stuff too, because Ron Breaker was just standing there smiling like he was happy, but he was still a little bit confused. And Paul Heyman asked him,
Hmm.
"Do you know what's about to happen here? What's taking place?" And he was like, "Let me bestow a little wisdom upon you." And Paul Heyman said that Roman Reigns prepared for Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins pinned the biggest star in the industry, Roman Reigns, in the main event of WrestleMania. He reminded Braun Breaker that CM Punk prepared for Seth Rollins. CM Punk lost the WrestleMania main event. And even better than that, both CM Punk and Roman Reigns lost to Seth Rollins in the main event of WrestleMania. Jey Uso is a great champion. He reminded us that. This is where I thought he was really going to lose. He said he's a great
Uh-huh.
champion. He even made Gunther tap out at WrestleMania for the title. He's telling Braun Breaker this. Jey Uso is no easy day in the park. He said that as well. But Jey Uso is not focused on Seth Rollins for tonight. He's distracted by Logan Paul. And he has no time to prep for Seth Rollins. Braun Breaker is now smiling like, "Oh yeah, this is a hell of a plan. Why the fuck you guys didn't tell me this before we went on live TV?" That's what he should have been asking. But he's explaining
Yeah.
it to him and basically said there's nobody left. Seth Rollins is a sniper, and he has Jey Uso in his sights. Keep in mind that it didn't help that he reminded him that Seth Rollins has beaten Jey Uso 3 times in their only 3 matches one-on-one. He said that he's about to have the kingdom brought to him when the referee hands the World Heavyweight Championship to Seth Rollins, and they both just look up in joy. That was a good piece because Paul Heyman
Mm.
broke down more things as to what their goals are, what their plans
Yeah.
are, and the sky's the limit once he gets that title. Their own new faction, their own new whatever you want to call it. This is gonna be good, I think. And I'm like, well, I didn't know they were gonna get started this quick, but damn, this is gonna be fucked up. But why do I
Yeah.
kind of like it? I ain't gonna lie, I
Yeah.
probably would have pulled the trigger because everybody was thinking he's got to fight with Logan Paul Saturday. He's gonna have to be the
Hmm.
champion. And like you said, if it was Vince, he probably would have did it. And I wish they kind of had it, but I'm glad they didn't. But anyway, I'm moving too fast, ain't I? After that, we had the match with Penta and JD McDonough. Nothing to talk about. It was a decent match, I guess. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Not
It,
gonna
it
lie to
it
you.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And they need to stop doing stuff like that. Having matches on the card that doesn't really matter. And Penta's just having matches for the sake of having matches. None of them are going anywhere. Where are we going with that? So, like you were just saying, man, Gotta have them
Give
both.
me
We don't
Lucha
want.
Brothers.
We get Carlito. We can,
I'm assuming they're gonna save it for a moment. They're gonna save it for a big show.
of
Whatever.
course,
Give it to us.
of course.
Inject it into our veins.
We'll just give you some good matches, and hopefully the AEW fans are watching and they'll get their match. And they can't say that we're not using them and all of that, but whatever. Um, the match is, I think, DQ. Chad Gable ended up coming and he tried to interfere in the match and he was trying to pull Penta down from off the top rope. That distracted Penta, but Penta just still jumped over the top rope and took out Chad Gable. And I'm trying to see if I'm getting to the finish here. Penta won this match, didn't he, Terrence? I'm pretty sure he did.
I don't think he lost. I don't know for sure, but don't quote me on that. I was
Yeah, I think I'm at the
still
finish.
trying
I
to.
think I'm at the finish here. Yeah. Penta was in trouble, and then he wasn't. He did get the win with that Mexican destroyer, and he got the dub. No,
Yeah, he's not gonna lose to JD McDonough right now. That's just not.
he should not. He should not. I was just trying to get
Yeah.
to the end of that. We had Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in the back talking. I don't really know what they were talking about. Who cares? It really wasn't anything important. I think this was just because Austin Theory was about to come out and be a jobber once again, because he had a one-on-one match with Sheamus, who returned. That's who it was. It was
No
Sheamus.
boy.
Sheamus returned. Yeah, of course, they come back after Raw. We didn't need your ass, and now we need you back because we got fillers, and everybody that was at WrestleMania, they don't fight full time. They only fight like 4 or 5 times a year. And this is what the
Yeah.
WWE has to stop because I can remember the days when we could watch Stone Cold, Undertaker, Kane, The Rock. Everybody would be fighting. Kurt Angle every
Yeah.
week. They still were in a match. Now these people are, for whatever reason, too big or important to be wrestling on Monday nights and Friday night SmackDowns. This is ridiculous. Why? Says who? Like those guys were the shit back then, and they were wrestling every night. But anyway, Sheamus got the win. And I don't think that match lasted that long. Trying to get past
Probably
that.
not.
So the first hour,
Before we move on, at some point, man, get Austin Theory out of that tag team. I mean, I feel the same way about Austin Theory
what tag
almost
team?
as I
They
feel
haven't
about.
had a tag team match in months. They don't do anything together. They just are on TV together.
I feel the same way about Austin Theory almost as I feel about Montez Ford. It's time.
But at least Montez Ford, is like he's not a joke. I mean,
No,
they
no, he's still
they
being
could do better
showcased in a
with
really
him.
good way.
They could do better with him.
Yeah,
But Austin
yeah,
Theory is a joke. I mean, they're really, really.
man.
What's Triple H
And
got
that's going
against
to be
this guy?
very hard.
What's
That's
Triple H
going to be
have against this
hard to
guy?
rebuild. I think because he was literally handpicked by Vince, and as I was telling people, there was some internal beef there between Triple H and Vince. They can say what they want to say.
Has to be.
Vince came in. Vince came in and totally revamped everything Triple H had going on in NXT. Fired a lot of Triple H's boys. Triple H just brought him back. Samoa Joe remembered Triple H brought him back. Vince came, took over power and fired him again. That's how he ended up in AEW. So I think that this could be because Austin Theory was one of Vince's guys. I don't know for sure because you remember when Seth was the architect. Was it the architect? Was it his character, or was it the Monday Night Messiah? Maybe they called Austin Theory up super early. They sent him back to NXT eventually, but like Vince brought him up early,
Yeah,
and so he's one of Vince's boys, and that could be the reason. But that dude has too much talent to be doing what he's doing, man.
I agree. Agree. Um, After that, they made this dumb match. Well, I ain't gonna say dumb, but just out of nowhere because I didn't see Dom at the ringside at all during that Penta match. Well, Penta is in a match for the Intercontinental Championship. He's gonna get a shot at Dom's Intercontinental Championship this Saturday at Backlash. This Backlash show, I'm telling you, they're just throwing shit together. They didn't
They're
have
just throwing
time
shit together,
to
yeah.
build anything. I feel for the fans in St. Louis. It's almost like, man, maybe Scuba Steve could be right. Maybe they do put the belt on Randy Orton. I don't think they will. Why would they put it on?
Scuba Steve said it's a 1 point game.
It is. I was just about to say that. It is
Ooh.
13.9 left, 114, 115. The Nuggets, I said they will not go away. But look, let me ask you this before we keep going with the show, Terrence,
Okay.
because Steve got me thinking about something here. Well, you got me thinking about something, Terrence. You just talked about Triple H and Vince, right? With this whole Austin Theory
Hmm.
thing. If Triple H is doing all of these things out of spite because there's Vince McMahon, he could just release Austin Theory too. Just release him then. Why do you want to just keep jobbing him around like this? But back to what I'm saying. If he's trying to rewrite everything that Vince McMahon did or wrong everything that he did, or if he's just trying to erase all of that, maybe Terrence. And I again, this don't make any sense for them to do it. But do you think it's a possibility that Triple H is changing the narrative? He's shifting it. Remember how Cena would lose in his hometown to Edge, and then Edge would lose in his hometown of Toronto to Cena?
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
Randy Orton is in St. Louis in his hometown, and as I was reading Steve's comment saying, asking us, is John Cena fighting Randy Orton for Backlash in Randy's
Right.
hometown? I'm like, yeah. And as I'm reading, I'm like, yeah, and he's gonna lose. That's what Vince used to do, though. Do you think Triple H could actually let Randy Orton, his buddy, do you think he could let him win this title for whatever reason? It wouldn't make sense, but do you think they would actually do that? Because that would be the opposite of what Vince would do.
No, he's not going to win. I think some of these, with TKO being in there now, I think some of these storylines go beyond
Okay.
what Triple H or what any Booker would do. I think this is one of those things they are going to milk this John Cena retirement tour, get every dime out of it. I do believe that
I'm gonna done
I don't
deal.
even know if Triple H decides winners and losers anymore for the most part.
Oh,
I think I mean, in situations like that, I don't think he does. I
okay.
think Triple H is there to decide maybe how it happens, but I don't even know if he decides who wins and who loses now. Um, yeah, so I think that we might end up seeing a situation where it's going to look like Randy's going to win, so the crowd can get their reaction. But I don't think there's going to be any kind of situation where Randy wins. We might even get a false finish. I would love a false finish. That would be cool.
Yeah.
John Cena gets his foot on the rope. Ref doesn't see it, counts to three. Unfortunately, the match got to be restarted. John Cena hits him with a low blow, beats him. If it happens that way, I need my money.
Man,
Um,
what? Yeah, that would be yeah, that would be magnificent. 115,
yeah,
117, Denver down two. We got a backstage cut after that whole Penta stuff, and then Dom finds out he got a match at Backlash, his Intercontinental Championship. He has to put on the line and defend it against Penta. So he's in the back talking to
yeah.
Judgment Day. Him and Balor are talking. He said, "I got Penta. My hands are full here. Um, why don't you take care of him?" That's what Balor says to Dom. And it says, my job is to clean up your mess. Only messing with the kid. He switches it back, like, I'm just messing with you, man. He dabs him up. Finn Balor he's not going to screw Dom over this soon, is he, and lose his title to Penta at Backlash?
Nah, I think there's going to be a situation where uh, how is this going to happen? I think they're probably going to maybe come to blows at some point, and they'll have a match. And I think Liv is going to ride with Finn as opposed to riding with Dom. That's how I think they'll do that.
You think they're going to do that, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so here's the thing. You probably don't know this. Liv Morgan was not seen on here tonight. Uh,
She's out. She's out doing a movie.
exactly. So she's not interfering in anything. She's not going to do anything right now. She's going
Well,
to be
yeah, I mean,
gone.
it'll be a little while before. I think Dom will have a fairly lengthy run as IC champ.
How long is Liv out doing this movie?
Probably a couple of months.
A
She's
couple
got a big
months, and
role
they're
in it,
not
but
going
I
to
don't.
vacate the tag team titles.
Bro, I was about to get to that. What are we doing?
I think it's a couple of weeks. It's got to be a couple of weeks.
Might be a couple of
I
weeks.
think it's
Might
in
be a couple of
Japan.
weeks.
I think it's in Japan. and they move fast.
It is.
I think it's a couple weeks, a couple months. They would have had to do something. She actually
They are
asked.
knocking that filming out. Then
Yeah, Nick Aldis was filling in for Adam Pearce last week on Raw, and she actually asked Nick Aldis for the time off for it, and he granted it to her and said, "Congratulations on your movie. I've heard about that." He didn't say nothing about the titles being vacated or nothing. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be a couple of weeks, and they're just gonna do little small stuff like they just did there to get by. But I need to see Dom and Liv together. So I certainly hope when she comes back, she still can have the title for a little minute, and he can still have it for a little minute. Because this is supposed to be, that's why they all have the titles for. But she got called up for it, and a lot of people are saying that she ain't gonna be around much longer because they think she's gonna be the next big star to walk out from the WWE because of it. And I would hate that. I would love it for her, but I would hate it for, my eyes watching because I do like her. Like she's really good. She was I think she probably was the star of the year in 2024, at least on the women's
I
side.
agree with that.
And yeah, on the women's
I
side
agree with that.
especially. So anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. Finn Balor was pretty much like, man, I'm tired of cleaning up your mess. I gotta clean up your mess. And then it was like, I'm just kidding with you, just messing with your kid. And he's very funny, like you said, his accent and everything. And we know he's full of
He's
shit.
hilarious to me.
Yeah, we know he's jealous of Dom and he's got that belt, and it'll come out eventually. Aaron Gordon is at the free throw line. It's 10 seconds left, and the Nuggets are down by one after he just nailed that last free throw. I'm not sure if he knocked both of them down or not, but they're
He
down
did. He made
one.
them both.
Okay, they're down one with 10 seconds left. See how this thing gonna play out. Right now in the back we had Chad Gable walk up on the New Day, the tag team champions, who I'm sorry, still just have not they've not done enough with them since they won them. Um, New Day was talking. I know the War Raiders have been walking around talking about they want a shot at the tag team championships. I'm not gonna go through that, man. They weren't talking about nothing. I don't know what Chad Gable had to do with that. I'll have to go back and check that out. I don't know what ties he had with the New Day there. Um, SummerSlam 2 nights. MetLife Stadium, yada yada yada. After that, we get Becky Lynch. Okay, Terrence, what do you think about Becky Lynch as she came out with a promo or a rant, basically being
Hmm.
heel? I know you're kind of sick of this whole thing with her turning heel back and forth, so we don't have to be on it long. But she came out, they
Yeah.
booed her, and she kind of
I
explained
mean,
herself more.
yeah. I'll be very brief. I'm glad they gave more promo time to Valkyria, and pretty much when she hit the ring, I think it was mainly Valkyria doing the talking, and she said a lot of things I think people probably feel about Becky. The crowd kind of got behind her. That's what I took from it. I'm happy about that, and I'm happy they're still letting Valkyria come out and be more personable. All this old stuff she was doing is cool, but seeing her in her regular clothes, coming out looking like a regular person,
Yeah,
does a lot with me. More personable.
right. Yeah, I wasn't feeling that either. So Becky got to talking a lot of stuff, and next thing you know, you hear the music come out, and that was Laura Valkyria, and she did come out and cut a damn good promo. She got even better this week than she did last week, and she talked a lot. She said recycling, something that Becky Lynch had said, and she said recycling. You've been recycling the same moves, the same tired old act,
Yeah,
and all of
yeah.
that stuff. For
The
for a while.
man has come back to your city, and yeah, whatever.
Uh-huh.
We've
Yeah, I
we've
didn't never
heard it
like that
before.
man stuff. But she said, what I have a problem with is you acting like you had anything to do with my success. The one thing I want to drive into your skull, more than my foot, is the fact that you didn't do anything
You
for
didn't
me,
make
basically.
me. Yeah,
You didn't make
I
me. Yeah,
made
you
me.
didn't make me. There you go. That's exactly what she said. And she was like, let me get you up to speed. She got in that ring, and man, she went on to talking, so he missed both free throws. Aaron Gordon
Woo!
going for the win, and Aaron Gordon just hit a big three. The Nuggets are up two. They ain't got but 2 seconds left. He
Woo!
used it, and I got it right. The Denver Nuggets steal game one.
Oh my goodness!
And this is why you come to the Great Debate Show because I am
Oh
incredible.
wow!
What a finish. Two great game ones tonight. This was great. This was great.
Golly.
Aaron Gordon with a dagger. The dagger three,
Ah,
he made some free throws, and then he made that big three. Did the Thunder not have any timeouts? Why did they just hurry up and try to run that? It was 2 seconds left.
I don't think they had any timeouts.
Okay, okay. They better not have any more timeouts. So he's gonna really get criticized about that one at the presser.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Denver
But
Nuggets
this is what I
win.
mean.
I
Like
said,
teams that
oh,
have been there
Steve, that doesn't make
before.
Steve happy at all. That doesn't make Steve too happy. I'm
Steve,
sorry, Steve.
you kind of jinxed it, Steve. We had conceded the game, and you were like, "It's a lot of time left."
Yeah,
Steve, you brought that on yourself, Steve.
but I kept saying though that the Nuggets do not want to go away here. They're not going away, and here they are.
Yeah,
They're the winners.
yeah. Oh man,
121,
this is why
119.
you experience matters. Those guys didn't give up. They
No.
played through it. Chip, stay in the game, stay in the game, stay in the game. Make championship plays.
Yeah.
Even on their last possession, like nobody was selfish. They literally just found an open guy. It wasn't, yeah, man. Hey, games like this, teams like this, you have to appreciate.
Yeah, man, for real. That's a great game. So we're going. Well, I mean, it's really not a lot to say other than man, the Nuggets just keep fighting, keep playing. That was a great push after the missed free throws. I mean, from Braun to Westbrook. Westbrook with a great vision and hit Gordon in the corner. He got to his spot. I could tell it was going to kind of go in, and he knocked it down. That's big shot. He hit some big free throws, and then he hit this big three. He basically scored their last five, I believe. So, and it was a huge
And
spot.
poor Chet Holmgren missed the free throws and got the three drill right in his face.
Steve is putting his Shannon Sharp impression on right now. He said beehives, long strides, OKC in five. So they're gonna win four straight. I'm not saying they won't do it, but okay. I'm just glad that I'm right about tonight. I said that I thought
Is this the
that
first? Is this the first time in history that all favorite seeds? Well, Golden State and Minnesota hadn't played
Minnesota
yet, which
not yet, but
but
I
so
mean,
far all of the underdogs have won game one.
it could be. I bet you we'll find out tomorrow in the mainstream media, and that still could continue because Golden State had one day off, and that's today. They're still on the road too, so they could walk into Minnesota and steal a victory too. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But I said tonight, give me the Knicks earlier today. Go back and watch the video, pull it up. I said it. Give me the Knicks and give me the Nuggets to steal game one and catch these guys napping because they've been on a long vacation. And there it is. Good finish
Wow.
tonight in Boston by the Knicks, and a good finish in OKC by the Nuggets. That was good, and I'm glad we were able to be live while that happened.
How many times
Steve,
have we missed it because we've gone off too early?
exactly, gone off too early. But it's hard to go out too early when you're recapping a 2.5 hour show that's on Netflix, and we're almost done with that too. But we had to interrupt to talk about that finish.
Yeah,
That
oh
was
yeah,
great.
absolutely.
The Denver Nuggets, every time they win another game, they make me look even better because they could still possibly get to that finals. And if they do, they got a chance to make me look good when I said they're the new Spurs of yesterday, today. And Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., they've been kind of leaving Joker out there to hang, and he's been doing most of this stuff by himself. But they have definitely
Another
brought it
40 and
on and
20
they
game
stepped it
tonight.
up. Yeah, they've been stepping it up here since like game four of the first round, and it's continuing here in the semifinal round. Congratulations to the Nuggets, man! What great game! I love how they keep fighting, man. And a lot of people said it was crazy for the Nuggets to fire Mike Malone, and my Grizzlies fired Taylor Jenkins. We didn't win a playoff game. These motherfuckers are still playing, and they've gotten off to a great start in the second round.
Yeah.
Kudos to the interim coach and to Jokic for chewing everybody out and rallying them and just getting them motivated before they finish the Clippers. And now, like this is they didn't want to hear all that stuff with Mike Malone. It was just he was beginning to be too hard to play for. Now they're playing their asses off again. So shout out to the Nuggets. Good win. Steve, hopefully your Thunder, I got your Thunder going to I think they're gonna go to the finals. That was my prediction in the beginning of the year, but this is a team right here that could cut them off short. And if that
Yeah,
happened, I would kind of be glad because then I could get the Nuggets and the Wolves again in the rematch. And then Ant could actually get to the finals a lot easier if he don't have to play OKC, in my opinion. I know you wouldn't like that though, but yeah, we'll see. I want Anthony Edwards in the finals, and it will be great to see if he could do it right now this year. And then doing it by knocking out LeBron and Luca. And we're going to talk about that game in a minute as soon as I finish recapping Raw. I want to just give a quick preview of tomorrow, Warriors and Wolves. But anyway, Becky Lynch, she's still talking. Valkyria's talking. They had a good promo, I'm not going to lie, even though this was still just kind of threw up at us right after WrestleMania. They have
yeah,
at least been working at it, though, since you know, they fought, won the titles, then they lost them. So this is okay. Becky Lynch was talking shit, talking about how it don't matter who you are, who you think you are. You'll never be as good as me. You'll only the only moment you'll ever have is the moment that you're with me or you're in the ring with me. Valkyria is like, wow, you know. Oh, she talked about her Sports Illustrated stuff. Sports Illustrated says she was the best in this or that, and oh, she's just throwing all her weight around Becky Lynch. Just talking about her accomplishments, and that just didn't. Valkyria wasn't trying to hear it. Um, she throws that title up and she said that she is going to be victorious. And I hope you're used to being, I hope you're okay with being second around here because that's what you're going to be. And that was a mic drop, really. She could have dropped the mic after that. So good promo, though, by Valkyria. Are you excited
yeah.
for these two in this match coming up Saturday?
Yeah, I mean,
That was
I'm
pretty
just
good.
really more so. I think she's going to lose, and that's okay. That'll make people want her to come back and get her lick back even more. But I am just so glad that they are doing right by her and giving her appropriate TV time, letting her say what she needs to say, letting the fans really get used to her in a way they really haven't had a chance to before. She's not bad in the ring at all. I think she's pretty good in the ring, but it's hard to gravitate. There's a million wrestlers out there that are good in the ring. What people don't understand, they're not just in WWE, they're not just in AEW. You can go to a lot of these towns around here and find wrestlers that are great in the ring.
Yeah,
Thankfully I've been able to catch some of the indie scenes around here. Good wrestlers everywhere. People that have been doing it 20 years can do anything in the ring. But to be able to connect to a crowd, to be able to connect to a stadium full of people or an arena full of people, that is the real talent. And I'm glad they're letting Valkyria display that right now.
I agree. They got the scuffling. They broke it up, got Lyra Valkyria out of the ring, and then Valkyria broke the authority, and she got right back in the ring to her, and she was able to drop Becky Lynch. So I'm pretty sure you must have saw that for you to say that she's losing her title. She definitely did
Yeah,
drop
I think
Becky
she,
Lynch at
yeah,
the end. She had the last laugh, and she held that title up, standing over Becky Lynch's head. So yeah, you're probably right. But um, we all thought Charlotte was going to win, even though she shouldn't have won. And they actually got it right. They didn't let Charlotte win at WrestleMania against Tiffany Stratton.
yeah.
Why would Becky Lynch take the title from Valkyria, from the young up and coming talent? Do you really think they're going
Just
to
so
do
she,
that?
just
I'm
so
only
she can,
asking you
just so
that
she can
because
get it
you.
back. Yeah,
Okay,
so she
okay,
can get it back. Yeah, you gotta generate some heat. Let Becky Lynch take the title from her.
yeah,
Humiliate her the next Monday, talk bad to her. I used you the whole time. I just wanted this, yada yada yada. Build some sympathy for her, and
yeah.
she'll make a comeback.
Sometimes they are doing better when they're chasing it, but I like how
Oh
she
yeah,
held her
yeah, yeah. The
own.
chase is always important.
I don't mean any harm because I know it seems like I'm kind of throwing shade at her every night because I promise you I love Tiffany Stratton, but I just don't think she's quite ready yet. And I think she should be taking notes because the past 2 weeks now, Valkyria did what Tiffany Stratton should have been doing on her road to WrestleMania with
Yeah,
Charlotte.
Tiffany Stratton's issue is that Tiffany is such a natural heel. She's just not a good babyface,
Not
and
at all.
she was thrust into the babyface role because the crowd hates Charlotte.
That's right.
That's Tiffany's issue. She ain't supposed to be a babyface.
Nope. They like we've said before in past episodes. They shouldn't have put her and Charlotte in the same match together. They just shouldn't have. We got Roxanne Perez and Io Sky next. They had a good match. It got out to kind of a slow start. What do you think about Roxanne Perez in the ring?
I think all of those NXT wrestlers that are coming up are pretty good, but again, it just takes an ability to be able to connect to the crowd. She's
Hmm.
not going to get that while she's coming out and taking L's, but I think the future is bright for him, though.
Okay. Well, she had a match with Io Sky, and this I don't really understand why they continue to throw Io Sky, the women's world champion. I don't know why they keep throwing her in this tag team stuff with people that are not going to take her title. Roxanne Perez isn't. Who's the other one that interrupted this match? I'm trying to get to Gilia or
Julia,
whatever.
yeah,
Julia,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Um, Julia, whatever. She came and she interrupted in this match. Io Scott still got the win. No, I'm sorry. She came after Io Sky got the win. I'm sorry. And they pretty much attacked Io Sky, and I was sitting there watching it. A great finish again, though, by the match. All the roll ups and near falls that they did over and over. That was good finish. Io Sky
yeah.
got the win. Roxanne Perez, played it cool, like showed good sportsmanship. I'm gonna shake your hand, and she walks away. I'm like, yeah, right. We've seen this before. And then that's when Julia came up from behind her. Roxanne Perez Goldberg's in the ring. They beat her ass. I'm watching it thinking, here comes Rhea Ripley, but no Rhea Ripley tonight, surprisingly.
Good,
But
good.
then yeah, you're right, good. But then they show next week Monday Night Raw, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley in a tag team match versus Julia and Roxanne Perez. Why is Io Scott in this tag team bullshit and she's the women's world champion? What the hell's going on? And once again, what the hell does Rhea Ripley have to do with this? Okay, so she saved Io Scott once. So she didn't save her tonight, so why is she gonna help her next week? What are they doing here?
They're just dragging out the inevitable. We know that that title is going back to Rhea Ripley. They're just dragging it out as long as they can. This is a way for them to get NXT stars, well, former NXT stars, onto the big stage, let them on with the champion and Rhea Ripley, but then Rhea Ripley will come back and take the title at some point. And I wouldn't even be surprised if this is like some kind of a new faction and Rhea's the actual leader of it. Wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not interested.
I'm
Um,
not
out-
either.
after that, so that's next week. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez and Gilia. After that, we had a singles match, 1-on-1, with Otis of Alpha
Yeah,
Academy
yeah.
against Rusev. Terrence, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the show for a minute when they show all of the stars making their entrance toward the arena, and when they're playing the music, 4 by
Hmm.
4, 10 by windows up. You
Yeah,
hear the raw music, and everybody's coming out, and they're looking all good, star studded. People are yeeting shades. They got the bags, and they're walking in. I like it.
sure.
Everybody usually gets a reaction, right, when they show those people.
Yeah,
When they show Rusev, though, he got no reaction at all. And immediately after they showed Rusev, they showed Gunther, and he got a reaction. Boo! Rusev didn't
mm,
get either one. Fast
mm.
forward to the mid card, he has a match 1-on-1. I had to go back to that part to tell you what I'm going to show you now.
Yeah, sure.
And we get to the mid card match, him and Otis 1-on-1. He comes to the ring, Terrence. I'm telling you, man, you could have heard a pin drop. If somebody said boo, you could have heard him say it. Just if he just said boo, he didn't really get a reaction. He got no reaction when they showed him on the jumbotron as everybody's making their appearances, their entrances. They didn't say anything when they showed him. Everybody but him got a reaction. Then he comes to the ring.
Yeah,
He got little to no reaction. I know he was gone a long time behind the scenes on AEW, and he was at AEW
right.
for a while. Terrence. I mean, like they're telling us who he is, and he was fired 5 years ago. The commentary are reminding us they don't seem like they give a damn about Rusev. Am I right or wrong on this? What are you getting from it? Because he ain't getting much of a reaction to me.
Well, I think this is another situation where they need to fully declare: is this guy a babyface or is he a heel?
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like even when he came out the first night, it's the night after Raw. You know, those reactions are like everybody's adrenaline is pumping. We're just looking for the returns. We heard the dirt sheet, so we know he's coming at some point.
Yeah.
Um, so that's that reaction. But then after the end, I told you that promo he had, it to me, it just fell flat. I like it, but it wasn't. It was they didn't go full redeemer. I love the redeemer work he did in AEW.
Yeah.
Him talking to his God and talking about his woman and or talking about his woman, like all of this stuff was cool.
Yeah.
Uh, but this is them trying to recreate that magic without fully going there. And to me, you got to just go there. Be the redeemer. Listen, whatever the trademark situation is, these wrestling companies, man, stop that. Stop that. You know,
You know how
stop
it
that.
goes, man. It's competition.
If Cody Rhodes had to come over and not been the American Nightmare, it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
He'd have been Stardust in 3 weeks.
Yep. That is true.
Just like Edge, and on the flip side of this, Edge goes over to AEW and he's not Edge, and I don't care two craps about it.
I don't care about two craps about anything they're doing over there, but I hear you. You're
Not
right.
exactly. So my
Is
point
he calling
is,
himself Cope? I heard he's calling himself Cope now.
not just Cope, rated R Cope.
Oh yeah, right, because he was able to keep the rated R, but
He
he
can have Edge, but they dropped the Edge trademark like I think like last week or something. But regardless, he's not
well now
Edge.
that's
Nobody
not
has
true.
ever cared about Adam Copeland.
They picked it back up too.
Oh,
They got it.
good,
Yeah, they got it.
good.
I guess
But
they probably
nobody's
got
ever.
hurt. They probably didn't realize that they slipped up on that,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like,
Yeah.
no, no, you're not gonna get that AEW. No, you're not. And
No,
they got it right
but
back.
my point is, listen, if you don't want the wrestler there, let the stuff they work for go with them because you didn't want them clearly. So you don't have any value in the Redeemer. That man wasn't on TV for 3 years.
You're right,
Yeah,
Terrence.
no,
As a fan, that makes sense. But as a business person, you're not going
you're
to
right.
let that person go over there and use that. Come up with something else yourself. That's our
Right.
shit.
That's fair.
You jump up with your own shit. And I
Right.
hate to
That's
say
fair.
it because that's very
Yeah.
petty, but business wise, it kind of
Yeah, that's
works
fair.
sometimes. Yeah, like the
Yeah. Oh yeah,
non-competes.
it helps. Yeah.
Like the
Right.
non-competes, when they have these they can't go anywhere for 90 days, 120 days, you gotta forget about that person, man, by the time they finally debut
Man.
somewhere else. It's like, oh shit, I
Blame Rick Rude
already
for
mad at
that.
me. Yeah.
Blame Rick Rude for that. Rick Rude showed up on Nitro and Raw the same night, dog. I will never forget that night as long as I live. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
I mean, you could hit that go back channel, and he was on both of them at the same time.
That
And
was classic. Eric Bischoff, you can blame Eric Bischoff, really, ain't it? He's the one who
yes, yes,
yeah.
Bischoff was a sleazeball, but that was
He actually done
hilarious.
that twice. He done that with Lex Luger as well. If I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken, Lex
yeah.
Luger was on TV that same night too, and he debuted on Nitro that night in '95.
It was either the same night or the next week or something like that, but they were really
Okay,
close to each
yeah,
other. Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
you're
the
right
only,
though.
and that's the only reason why he even put Luger on WCW. Sting begged him, and it was like, well,
Yep.
this will be good though for once they see it like that. He did not like Luger. He wasn't a fan, and he was like,
No.
Sting basically begged me to hire him. And he was like, nah, I still don't want to do it. But Big Shot was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I can have you on television on both nights? Yeah, I'll sign him just for that. But after that moment ended, I didn't give a damn about Logan. They just did. And I don't mean any
My
harm.
goodness,
Neither did I. I
I
was
didn't
not
either.
a fake.
No, I didn't either.
But anyway,
But yeah, but
Rusev,
my point is that's not
I'm
it's
sorry.
not working because they're tiptoeing around the Redeemer character. Now,
Make a good
if
point.
he's gonna be the if he's gonna be the Bulgarian brute, be the Bulgarian brute. But it's a
He kind of playing
tweener
both sides.
it's a tweener that's not working, man. And
Yeah.
even when even when I saw some of the match and even during the match, he wasn't very heelish to me. He was kind of trying to get the crowd to cheer for him almost like man, just come out and kick somebody's tail.
Yeah.
That to me, that shouldn't have even been a match. He should have come out, got DQ, and beat that boy down.
Yeah, you're right.
But whatever.
He won the
I don't know
match
what he's
against
doing.
Otis. Rusev won the match though against Otis, and
Yeah.
you were just talking about how they need to let us know if he's going to be a babyface or a heel or not. Well, I think they kind of did. Maybe. Again, he still didn't get that much heat, but they love Otis so much. maybe this was what he needed. He beat Otis' ass even after the match. You had to
Now
give
that's
him,
gonna work.
yeah.
Now wait. Now he'll get a reaction next week.
Okay, yeah, there you go. I'm trying to see. Did he get much of a reaction there? I don't think it was much. Well, they kind of booed him a little bit. He got a little heat, but yeah, it'll probably be much more next week. I don't want to say anything about the fans, but the crowd, because I think we spent too much time talking about how the crowd wasn't energetic at all. The crowd was so weak. Sometimes it's because the content ain't shit, and they ain't got
Right.
nothing to be thrilled about.
Bubba Ray always says if the crowd is if it's not a good crowd, it's the wrestler's fault. It's not the crowd's fault.
I agree. So we get past Rusev, and he pretty much after he beat up Otis, he left the ring when what's his name, his little buddy Kazawa was taking his shirt off, ripping it off like, "Come on, motherfucker, you just did that to him. Get me." And Rusev was just looking at his guy like, "Man, I'll crush you." And he just says, and he goes out of the ring. I liked how they done that. And Rusev, soon as he turns his back, Rusev goes back into the ring and he crushes him too. Just picks him up and throws him on top of Otis, and he stacked him. And yeah, he'll get a lot of heat.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
Now we're talking. Now we're
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. So that's
Now
why
we're
I was
talking.
like, you said the right thing, and they showed it to you before that match ended. Yeah, we want him to be healed, which is a good thing because I'm telling you, he got no reaction. And even when he
No,
came down to the ring, he got little to no reaction. All right, we're moving
that's what
along.
we need. Yeah.
We almost done here. After that happened, well, Adam Pierce stayed in the ring because he was busy trying to get Rusev's crazy ass out of there. So Adam Pierce just stayed in the ring and he called Pat McAfee to the ring. And Pat McAfee was like, this is it. This is my time, Michael. Be back in a minute. And he goes in the ring and Adam Pierce says, "Hey, man, you got a match coming up Saturday against Gunther. I'm about to bring him out." He gets right to it. Gunther comes out. And Pat McAfee, once again, man, cutting a better promo than some of those wrestlers backstage. He said a lot of good things about the city of Omaha, Nebraska, where they were at.
Yep.
He said a
Yep.
lot of good things about what the city means and what what it represents, and the symbol of that city and what it represents, and how he is going to do the same thing on Saturday and beat Gunther.
Hmm.
And he's saying the main reason why he's going to do it is because even though he has won and been a champion 80% of the time he's been in WWE, he told Gunther that ain't really you anymore. We all know you've gotten soft. And looked him dead in his eyes and said that. I was like, man, Gunther's about to break you in half. Gunther did not. He took the mic. He was cool for a minute. And then he just let him know that, hey, man, I'm not going to underestimate you. That's what Pat McAfee said that he was going to do. Like he underestimated Jey Uso.
Hmm.
And like he underestimated Sami Zayn and lost his Intercontinental title. Pat McAfee was laying it on thick. Gunther said, trust me, after losing my title, I'm going to be more focused Saturday than ever. And I'm going to beat your ass. And I'm going to choke you. And I'm going to make you tap out. I'm going to make you pass out. I'm going to squeeze you out like a towel and just drop you. And he just shoved the mic into his chest and he walked right out of the ring with purpose. And I'm telling you, Terrence, you can tell me how you think this is going to go. We can do our backlash predictions, I would say, by Wednesday or Thursday. We can come back and do that. But Terrence, I'm telling you, everything that Gunther said, it looked like he meant it. And they ended that.
Absolutely.
They ended that segment. Pat
Yeah.
McAfee went back to the announcer table. Again, we don't understand why they're doing this, but they're doing it. Your thoughts on tonight and Saturday
Well,
with them?
yeah. I mean, first of all, I need to. I'm curious as to a lot of these entertainers that come in. How many? Like, is Pat McAfee signed to a certain number of matches a year because he's still an athlete, right? Like, maybe that's part of the reason why they're doing it. Hey, man, let's go on and get this one match out of the way. There's one match a year he's got to do. That could be part of it too. But as far as where they're going with it, I still think there's going to be some kind of interference. I heard Goldberg rumors. I've heard what's his teammate? I forgot his teammate's name, but I've heard his
Ludwig
rumors.
Kaiser,
Ludwig Kaiser
who hadn't
rumors.
showed his
Uh,
face in a while.
that's going to make his comeback even that much more meaningful.
Yeah.
Um, So I'm just gonna be optimistic and wait and see what they do with it. But I love the promo tonight. Pat McAfee. as our guy Scuba Steve here said, is a heck of an entertainer. He's just a man, straight up guy, hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
don't care where he is very very much an entertainer. But I love what Gunther said as well. I won't hurt you tonight by my grace, but Saturday it'll take God's grace to get my hands from around you. That, hey man, I don't know who wrote that for him. He came with it that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah. That's a bar.
he definitely matched past energy. Absolutely.
And he did it so quickly. He didn't have to put as much time into it to pack back if he did or anything. Just real quick, let me get this in and get this out, and I'm gonna fuck you up, and I'm gonna walk on to the back. And that was good. That was
Yeah.
good. So here we go. Pat McAfee versus Gunther Saturday at Backlash. And then after that, we got a vignette. I'm tired of seeing these Orton Cena moments. We understand this is the last time we'll see Cena and Orton in a match. I get it.
Yeah.
So they show all those clips and everything, and they're fighting Saturday night. Well, Terrence, after this, it was time for the main event. Seth freaking Rollins versus um, Jey Uso. And
Yeah.
this wasn't bad. It kind of got out to a slow start a little bit, but man, Seth Rollins, this is what he does now. I mean, I've had my ups and downs on him, but I've never said that he was bad in the ring. He's okay. It's just sometimes his gimmicks I'm not always feeling, whether it's the Messiah or the Visionary or whatever the hell he is, the Visionary now. Sometimes it's like, okay, stop reinventing yourself so much. Just be one thing, damn it. But no, this is a good match. Braun Breaker outside the ring, Paul Heyman out in the ring. I'm still trying to get used to this faction, but it's starting to really grow on me. It's not going to be bad at all, and that's why I was almost thinking he was going to win this title tonight. Good match,
Hmm.
but at the end of the day, um, this actually had a good, crazy, wild finish too. There's some interesting stats with that game with the Nuggets and the Thunder there. But anyway, this match was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it got even better as we got toward the end. Seth
Yeah.
Rollins had an incredible move when Jey Uso was about to do the spear, and he went up in the air and caught it and turned it into counted it into a
To the
pedigree.
pedigree.
That was
Yeah,
good
man, that's a
stuff.
good counter.
Good
That's a good
count.
counter.
Good count. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And so Jey Uso, in Seth Rollins, I think they went in for a good 30 minutes, damn near, I believe, 20 25 minutes at least, I believe, for Monday Night Raw. They gave them the time. They put together a good match. Um,
Yep.
Jey Uso hit a few spears, and they both kept kicking out of the moves and everything. And it's like, okay, wait a
Yeah.
minute now. This is kind of looking like an AEW match. You can't keep kicking out of this stuff. And both of them were doing it before we finally would get any disturbance. And the first thing that happened was, of course, Braun Breaker. Um, he did something trying to, distract Jey Uso. And
Hmm.
but then that's when Sami Zayn came out. He had already kind of dropped Uso, and then Sami Zayn came. Terrence, you told me that Sami Zayn would come back and he would go ahead and get his hands on Breaker. He did. Drop Breaker for a minute, whoop that ass. But Braun Breaker's not going to stay down for long. So Sami Zayn is just watching Jey Uso, hoping that he's going to get the pin after he's kind of put out Breaker for the moment. Jey Uso
Yeah.
hits the spear, gets on the top rope. He hits the move, flying out the rope. 1, 2. Another kick out by
Kick
Seth
out.
Rollins. Everybody's like, oh shit. And I'm like, yeah, Seth is going to win. They got me, I'm not going to lie. Terrence never doubted that Jey Uso would still be the champion and he would retain. But I was like, I don't know, man. This is why he could win. But then Breaker gets back up. This is why it got interesting. Breaker gets back up, spears Sami Zayn from out of nowhere, and then he ducks down and crawls back around to the other side of the ring. And I'm like, damn, he about to get Jay too. He just waiting on his moment. Jay gets out of the ring, tries to help Sami Zayn. And as he's helping Sami Zayn up, Braun Breaker is flown right back around with that spear flying out of nowhere, like it was
Yeah.
just out of nowhere. And so he gets Jey Uso up, throws him back into the ring. And that's when I'm like, well, they're going to do it. This is it. Here comes the stomp. And he did. And then we heard CM Punk's music.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
CM Punk comes out with a chair. He points it at Braun Breaker and he just throws it at him and gives him a good kick to the face. and he goes right in there for Seth. He's trying to get his lick back. He's been betrayed. He's been screwed. WrestleMania, all of that, and we ain't saw him since. So he gets him some. A lot of chair shots. Took it to Seth Rollins, and he dropped him. Laid him out. Cleared the ring. Braun Breaker came back in. Takes some more of these chair shots, and he just kept putting him down too. Kicked him out of the ring. Seth Rollins, he didn't want anymore. He got back out of the ring.
Yeah.
CM Punk and Sami Zayn standing in the middle of the ring, and Jey Uso, trying to recuperate. And he looks around in the corner and realizes, okay, I had some buddies come help me. Thanks, Sammy. Thanks, Punk. And I'm still the world heavyweight champion. That's how the
Yeah.
night ends. Pretty good Monday Night Raw, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Your
Yeah.
thoughts on that main event and how they did it?
Well, yeah. Well, this is where you have to give him credit. And something I heard you say is like at that moment I thought, I thought we had a new champion.
Man, what?
Hey
That
man.
was
Every
good.
once in a while, you have to tip your cap to him and let him know, hey man, you got me, you got me,
You
and you
got
know
me.
what? That's what
And
they're
they and
supposed
they
to do.
definitely done that tonight. They got me.
Yeah, that's supposed. Jarvis, I hate the fact that I sometimes I think I know what's going to happen and then it happens, or I might read a dirt sheet. I try to stay away from dirt sheets. The element of surprise I like to know. Most of the times, even when I work wrestling events, I don't like to know who's going over unless it's something very important. I always say that because I
Yeah.
can go with the action and figure things out. But as a fan, I don't want to know what's going to happen. So this is one of those nights where I ain't gonna lie to you. When he hit the stump, I'm thinking like, oh, they just did it.
Yeah.
So, hey man, after the spear and the stump, I was like, yep, here it is. At first thing I thought was Jarvis is about to be pissed. That's the first thing I thought.
No,
I was about to call you.
I wasn't gonna be mad, really. I wasn't really gonna be mad. I was just gonna be like, you know what? Look, they gave him his moment. They didn't
Yeah,
really let him
yeah,
have that moment for long, but it
right.
would have been kind of perfect because I don't think anyone thought that he was going to lose the title. I'm probably one of the only ones that thought it, but
Yeah,
because of that is the reason why I thought that maybe they actually could do it, and they'll let Jay chase it a little bit like they do Cody. Maybe I don't know. But nah, it was
mhm,
you were right. That's exactly the way it ended. Sami Zayn. We had some action between Sami Zayn, and then we had Braun Breaker, and then to break that tie with CM Punk with the chair, and he came
yeah,
back. You asked me about Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and I said, well, Roman's not coming back till early June, I heard. And you were like, what about
hmm,
Punk? And I said, well, that I don't know. Well, we know now.
right.
He came back
Yeah,
tonight. And I'm glad
yeah. So,
because shit.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad they're still building to the rivalry of Punk and Rollins. I don't know if are they doing did they announce anything for Backlash? Like did they get announced anywhere?
Okay, so this was the go home
We
show
gotta
from
be
Backlash, wasn't it?
we gotta be going somewhere to with it. Yeah.
Well, here's the card. I'll tell you that. They showed that earlier in the night, and that's all I've got. These are the matches, the typical card match. Um, 5 match card anyway, I should say. So we've got
True.
the fatal four-way for the United States Championship between um LA Knight, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and of course the United States Champion Jacob Fatu. We've also got the Intercontinental Championship match that they just set up tonight or announced tonight. Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. Gunther versus Pat McAfee. The Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, and then the undisputed WWE Championship, John Cena versus Randy Orton. Those are your 5 matches for Backlash. And
Okay. So
again,
no,
they
so they're gonna
threw
build to it for later, I guess.
evidently so, yeah, because it's too soon to do anything for Backlash. I mean, you let these guys sit home for a few weeks. They came back and they stepped away again. So
So
yeah, they threw
it's
this
almost a
Backlash together.
SmackDown show.
The only difference is all the titles are on the line. That's it. That's the only difference. All the titles
Hmm.
are on the line. That's the only difference between it being a SmackDown show. Yeah, and Gunther and Pat McAfee being in the middle of it, I still just don't understand. So the things that you're saying about these rumors that you're hearing with Goldberg and all of that possibly returning for Gunther, it has to be true. It got to be some truth to it because this makes no sense still. Why they would do it? Jey Uso is in a match. Oh, you know what? And they didn't even show Jey. It's 6 matches then because I forgot Jey Uso and Logan Paul are still fighting,
Jay
right?
was so long apart.
Yeah, they didn't have that on the
They
thing, but
but they never officially got announced though, right?
well, then it's not going to be a backlash.
I don't think it's that backlash. They would
Well,
have
then
promoted
that's
the
it.
heck out of that.
So it is the 5 matches that I just said. So that means they are going to milk it, and that would explain it. Because why would Logan Paul not be there tonight if he's in the main? If he's probably not the main event, but if he's in a PLE coming up Saturday. So no,
Yeah.
they did not announce that. You're right. They did not announce that match for Backlash, and that's why it won't be there. And that's why they threw that Dominic Mysterio match versus Penta in there, I believe. Like, we didn't need that. That just came from out of nowhere. So that's the card, man. Backlash. I feel for St. Louis, man. The only thing that they're giving them is Randy Orton in the main event.
That's what
And
they
he's
yeah,
not
they're banking on
gonna win.
Randy Orton and Cena selling it out.
Yeah, and he's not gonna win it. And it's gonna be a horrible match. I hope everybody understands that. We just watched John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania. I'm glad that was the last one because that was not that good. And you know why it wasn't that good? Because Cena sucks. All right. Cody did the best he could to make that match worth a damn, but wasn't that good. Now, again, Randy Orton is a much better wrestler than Cody, but Cody's pretty damn good too. And I don't know how much more
Yeah.
Randy can do to make Cena look good. Sometimes you just ain't that good. He wasn't good in his prime. So imagine how Cena looks now, you know? So it's not going to be a good main event. I'm sorry. I'll be glad when this shit is over because I'm not being entertained. And I think that the whole selling your soul and all of that, that was just for nothing. Like, damn, mother, did you not sell your soul to The Rock? Did you just, The Rock just happened to be out there when you was doing this shit? He didn't know you were going to do that. He was just out there to see about Cody. And when Cody didn't do it, why did The Rock do this to you then? So, like, all of that stuff just, that's what still makes this shit, like hard to put together and digest. But
Yeah.
Orton's not gonna win, Steve. If Steve is still with us, he's not. He is still with us. Orton's not gonna win that match. If he won that match, then Terrence is definitely right about Triple H and Vince McMahon and their beef. He's just really trying to show you that Vince is not here at all anymore. He would have never done this. I let Randy Orton win the championship for a 15th time in his hometown. Who cares about the story right now? Cena get the belt back. I don't know. That just can't happen. It won't happen. I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be the reason why
Yeah.
Randy Orton won't win. And it won't even. We know it won't be Travis Scott this time. WrestleMania, all that stuff is done. I think Terrence knows who I'm gonna say and where I'm going with it. It's gonna be John Cena's biggest fan, R-Truth, who's gonna come out and he's gonna help John Cena, his
Mm.
childhood hero. He's gonna come out and he's gonna help him. He's been still seen in some of these backstage cuts talking about Cena. And remember Friday night,
Yeah.
I think Jimmy
Yeah.
Uso was like, "Man, Cena tripping, dog. What is it?" And he was like, "Man,
Well, Jarvis,
Cena's the
let me
last real champion. What you talking about?"
let let me I want to give you something that hit me probably a couple of weeks ago, and I want to make
Okay,
sure that I get it out there because this is one of those things you haven't.
that would be good, Steve. That would. But he
Now
still
we
ain't
know
gonna
that
win. That'll be good though if he done that. He said Cena what he.
we
Go
know
ahead, go
that
ahead. Yeah.
hold on, calling it Cena gonna hit Randy with an attitude adjustment. And mid move, Randy gonna. I'm sure that will be a counter, but it won't get him a victory.
Mm-mm.
But I am looking forward to a false finish though, just to get a crowd their reaction. But so
Oh,
we know that Cena is gonna lose it.
you don't think Cena's just
What's
gonna
that?
pin him? You don't think he's gonna just pin Orton?
He'll hit him with a low blow somewhere in there, and
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we know that Cena has to lose that belt at some point, and we assume it's going to be to Cody at the end of this run.
I don't.
But
I
what
don't.
if it's not? But what if it's not to Cody?
I don't think it'll be Cody.
What if he loses the belt to R-Truth?
Man, I wouldn't be mad at it. I'd laugh my ass off. I know that won't
Now
happen
he's not
though.
going to keep the belt very long. He'll probably keep it one night.
Yep. Yep. Oh,
You
see,
know,
that's why
I'm
I don't want it
sure
to happen. And that's wI don't want it to
I
happen.
could, I could see it being some kind of like a fatal five way. Because I think his last night is going to be like a Saturday night main event in December or something like that. It could be like a
Okay.
fatal four way, fatal five way. Uh, some kind of way he sneaks into it and rolls Cena up, and like that's just throwing it out there. I saw their exchange one night on SmackDown. I don't know if it was this Friday or the Friday before that,
Friday before that.
and our truth was still with that. I want to be just like you when I grow up. I smell they're cooking something. I smell something.
And Jimmy said, "But bro, you already grown." After our truth walked away, she was like, "Bro, you
Yeah,
already grown."
yeah, they're cooking something.
I hope you're right. Terrence, I'm very, very enthused by that. I mean, that sounds very, very good.
You
And
did get a
I'm
good laugh
laughing
out of
because
it.
I know how funny our truth would make that. It's
Yeah,
just sometimes I don't want to laugh at him because it's like, why y'all always got this dude out here just for that? Why the Miz can't be doing that? Why the Miz can't say that's my childhood hero? You
the
know,
Miz ain't that funny.
I'm just saying though, but it always be us and that's why I'm like, and I try not to overthink it and get sensitive
Yeah,
about it, but sometimes the WWE does what the WWE does. But yeah, Terrence, if that happened,
it would
I'm
be
going
funny.
on the record to say them motherfuckers is watching a great debate show. Because I don't think that they would really do that. But if they did, I would laugh my ass off. And you're right, though. I wouldn't want it to happen because it would be a 24-hour thing. He'd be a 24-hour
Yeah,
champ. More than
yeah.
likely, yep. But it would be funny
I
as shit.
mean, if somebody has the money in the bank, it could be a 5 minute thing.
Okay. Let's see. The Money in the Bank is in June, right? In LA. And
Yeah,
some people think LA Knight will win that Money in the Bank in his hometown. I don't know. But if he did, I just wonder would he be heel or face? Which would let us know kind of which champion he's going to be going for. And as far as Cody taking the belt from Cena, yeah, I don't think that's the case. Now I'll take that back. There are words that Cody's going to be back a lot sooner than we thought. I agree with you, Terrence. We said he should go away for a few months.
at least three
Man,
months.
nah, man. It sounds like Cody has been used for promotion in not Backlash, but is it Backlash? No, not Backlash, but
Money in the Bank is the next show, I think.
it's not the Money in the Bank. It's a Raw or a SmackDown. It's a SmackDown. The SmackDown after Backlash. He'll be back.
Hmm.
Now that could be false, but a lot of times that stuff be pretty much on point with the whole
Yeah,
appearances and when they're
those are
going to make
always
their
those are
appearance
typically
again.
on point. Yeah,
Yeah, man, because they're not gonna lie about the promotional stuff. They're trying to get you there. They're selling you something by telling you he'll be there. So he's gonna be there. So I think Friday after Backlash, we will see Cody. And Cena will definitely be. Well, no, you know what? I don't know if Cena will be there after Backlash. He will be there this Friday for getting ready for Backlash. But I don't know about the Friday after. Cody will be there the Friday after. What will he have to talk about? We'll find out. But I think he will be there. So I don't think Cody's getting the title from Cena. I think CM Punk is gonna take that title from Cena. Cena is all Cena's look like he's gonna do is just take a trip down memory lane on his way out the retirement door. He's just gonna like let me fight you again, Randy Orton, CM Punk. We're gonna have our classic stuff. And we're gonna show the pipe bomb and all of that from 2011. We're gonna run that back. And I think whatever happens with Cena, I just can't see him retiring this way. I think whatever happens, and The Rock has to come play a part in this, I think, at some point. Maybe Cena's going to lose the title and The Rock will be disappointed. Like, this is what I sent you to do, and you doing this or something. I don't know. Somebody's going to whoop Cena's ass. Somebody's going to get some heat behind it. It should be the final boss since everybody hates him anyway now. And then everybody will kind of be like, you know what? Damn, man, Cena didn't deserve that now. And Cena can come back, get a pity party, be the victim, and they'll love him again. He can say, I was wrong. I'm
hmm
sorry. It's just The Rock
yeah,
put this in front of my eyes, and I thought this and I thought that, but I was wrong. They'll forgive him, and he'll go out still into the sunset and walk out into the sunset. All of that will start to take place, I think, after Survivor Series or around Survivor Series. And by the time we get to that Saturday night main event in December, man, they'll be crying his last match. I won't, but they will. And they'll make sure that
right.
everybody will be putty in his hands. I just can't see him walking out like this. I know people think he will because he just changed, but I don't know. I think they'll come up with something where they'll flip him right back. He'll get his ass beat. He'll come to his senses, and I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah,
good Monday Night Raw. It was all right. I got it.
for
What
sure.
do you give it? What do you give it? A B? B plus?
Yeah, absolutely. I give it a B. I give it
Yeah.
a B.
Okay. And now we got SmackDown. This should be interesting because Cena will be back, and Orton, of course, will be there. He's been doing work without Cena, so you know he'll be there while Cena's there, and we'll see what they have for us as they get ready for their match Saturday at Backlash. I don't know. Backlash is. I probably won't even be watching it live. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll catch it.
I'll glance in. I'll glance in on it.
Yeah, I'll catch it when I catch it. But
I got a few
um,
photo shoots Saturday. It's birthday weekend. I'll glance in on it.
birthday weekend. That's what's
Birthday
up.
weekend.
Birthday boy. Birthday boy. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because my mom's birthday was just Friday. On the
Oh,
second.
nice.
Yeah, her
Yeah, the
birthday's on the
second.
second. The Rock birthday is on May 2nd. Pat McAfee had a birthday on
Yep.
May the 2nd. It's a lot of
My
May
mom's
2nds
was my,
around
my
here.
mom's birthday is the first.
And your mom's birthday is on the first. All the
Yeah.
Tauruses, man. Congratulate. Happy birthday to all of you. And happy birthday to you too, brother. What day is it exactly?
Appreciate you, man. It's Thursday.
This Thursday?
Yep.
Happy birthday to you, man. What is this going to be?
Appreciate you, man.
35, 35, 30, 30, 36, 37.
Yeah,
Yee.
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
buddy.
that's about right. That is about
Yeah,
right.
it
I ain't
is
that
about
much. I
right.
ain't that damn
Yeah.
older than you. Yeah, okay,
Nah,
cool.
nah, it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Appreciate you, Scuba Steve.
I didn't mean to ask you
And
that
Steve,
over
we
there.
appreciate you, man. You've been here with us all night. Oh, I'm not worried about my age, man. It's just a number.
Right, yeah, right. That's it. You're right about that. Yeah, Steve
Yeah.
have been with us all night, man. Great game again with the Nuggets and the Thunder. It is out here too. One is getting late, and this thing is about to die. Um, Thank you for being here with us. And Steve did say happy birthday to you. I asked Al who getting the belt from Cena, and it says Punk. Oh, AI said that. I'm saying it's Punk too. AI may be on to something there. And UFC, when it's worth talking about, I will. But I
Is
talked
that
about
John Jones this
Crawford.
Saturday?
I didn't know he was fighting anymore. I really didn't. But I did talk about
Oh, think we lost Jarvis.